Welcome to the Drew Yari Show.
Alright guys, it is Wednesday night Yari. It's 8:05 p.m. Central Time. Welcome back to the show. And we got a nice little packed show. It's not just me. I got two other interesting guests on the show. Welcome back the ailing RJ. How you doing, man?
What's going on, chat?
And joining us is a first timer. He actually runs his own business. He runs his own wrestling shirt website, which I actually just got a shirt from. Justin. How you doing, Justin?
I'm doing good, man. It's Wednesday night. We got some wrestling on. Can't feel any better.
All right, got that right. So, Justin, you're new to the chat, so just tell everybody a little bit about you.
Yeah, man. I've been a long time wrestling fan since like 1992. So that kind of tells my age right there. Me and Drew, we actually went to school together. Did you go to Jordan too, or was it just Warren?
Oh no, I went to Jordan and Warren.
Okay. Yeah, it's been so many years. I forget like who went where, and but I knew we went to school together. So yeah, we went to school together. So we've known each other for years at this point. But yeah, I've been a long time wrestling fan. And recently opened my own business, Spinebuster Tees, spinebustertees.com. And I also been an entrepreneur YouTuber as well, but my wrestling business is my life right now. So yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll get more into detail about that later. But yeah, no, I'm a huge wrestling fan. I watch everything, so I'm just a big nerd when it comes to it.
Right, and like Justin mentioned, we met back in middle school. I think like seventh grade, I think, and
Yeah,
we became, pretty tight was through wrestling. We both like wrestling. And, no lie, I've been trying to get Justin on the show for a while. I'm always nervous when asking people to be on the show. So, I thought up the courage to ask you, and, fortunately you accepted.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's good to have Justin on the show. Growing up as a wrestling fan, who are your favorites growing up? If you had to pick a Mount Rushmore, as they say.
Oh man, so I think about this all the time. So I can't do my all-time favorite. I'll have to go by eras per se. If I had to have one wrestler that if you put a gun to my head and you're like, hey, pick one wrestler, and that's your favorite wrestler of all time, it's probably gonna be the Macho Man. Andy Savage.
All right.
He was the one that first infatuated me to get into wrestling, to start loving wrestling. I remember, so the very first time, my very first memories of wrestling was a backstage promo with Randy Savage with Gene Okerlund, who I thought was Gene Okerlund. I thought Gene Okerlund was Howard Finkel and vice versa, because they were both, small, bald-headed guys with the mustaches, right? So, and Grant, I was 4 years old, so forgive me, right? Whenever I saw that, but Macho Man, but other guys like Shawn Michaels, I mean, obviously from San Antonio, he's obviously a great storyteller, worker. Always liked RVD, Rob Van Dam, Sting, EDP. Some more of today's folks. More I grew on John Cena. I think John Cena now I'm a little bit more. I like him a little bit more now than what I did when he was going through the Super Cena run.
Right.
But so John Cena, Punk, Randy Orton. I mean, just really the main guys for the most part. I mean, I do have some guilty pleasures, right? Like for example, I used to love Rene Dupree. I don't know why, right? I always just like his little stick in the ring. We used to do that little, that little French dance.
The French tickler?
the French tickler, right? You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, so there's some other guys out there that I
He has a nice
well,
podcast.
I used to.
I was
He
gonna
has
say,
a nice podcast.
yeah, he has a podcast actually. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, so and like like for today, I mean, it switches on a dime, obviously, right? Because it depends who's getting pushed or whatnot. But love Cody Rhodes. I love MJF. I love Okada. I love I won't say I love, but I really like Kenny Omega, right?
boy.
Seth Rollins. Yeah, I'm sorry. Seth Rollins is great. Seth Rollins is great too, right? So, and even I'm watching some other people in other promotions as well, like Jacob Fatu, right? Like he is so good. So good is Jacob Fatu, man. Like I really want him to come to WWE, but I don't know if they're gonna take him in with his record. But I mean, WWE nowadays anyway, I mean, you got people who were named to be nameless who are giving away $3 million just to sleep with them, right? So
Yeah, the blue
what?
off the rose with all
What?
the-
I'm playing.
yeah. so that's my thing, you know what I mean? Like those are my guys for the most part, but I just love wrestling in general, man. Like I just try to find joy at anything in wrestling for the most part.
Right. I mean, that's the point of wrestling. Just you can like everything. I mean, there's people that like WWE. There's people that like AEW. I mean, there are even people that like Impact Wrestling. Shocking as that sounds. I know people. I do know people that like Impact Wrestling, and it's like a buffet. There's everything for everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah, there is everything for everybody. I mean, and again, you can like who you like. Me and RJ, we joke. I mean, we joke about how we hate AEW, but I mean, I don't hate AEW personally. I mean, I don't know how RJ feels, but I personally
I don't hate AEW.
I don't hate. I like aspects of AEW. There's people I like in AEW, obviously, like the MJFs. Wardlow until last week. I like Punk, even though I think he's unbearable as a human being, and I like Thunder Rosa. Just a multitude of reasons why I'm not crazy about the AEW, but yeah, I mean, I'm a wrestling fan. I like to watch wrestling, even if it's like Impact. There's things that I've seen on Impact that I like. There's matches that I'd like. Same thing with WWE. Same thing with fucking like I mentioned, I have Sling, so I have Access TV, and that means I can watch Impact Wrestling if I wanted to. Keyword is if I wanted.
I was gonna say if you wanted to, right?
If I wanted to, but I'm always open to new things.
So Drew, you telling me you don't want to see Mike Bailey and Trey Miguel have a 30-match series for the X Division title?
I don't know what that is, but sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I look at wrestling from a. Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt, but no, I just look at wrestling from the standpoint of there's some things I'm very outspoken on that I really, really hate. Right.
Right.
There's some things in AEW that I really dislike. Like for one, the women's division, right?
Oh.
I hate the way that they are inconsistent with their women's division. How many times is Nyla Rose gonna get a title shot, or she's number one contender?
I know, right?
You know what I mean? Or you got like Nyla Rose, who's always getting a shot at number one contender, for the title, right? But you're barely starting to get a Chris Statlander correctly. You know what I mean? So to me, there's inconsistencies there with AEW. They have the division rankings, right? At first, I was thinking, okay, what, that's a great idea, right? You have the people who are on top of their divisions, their rankings or whatnot, they'll get title shots, right? But sometimes it's like, okay, well, how does this wrestler have 23 matches in 2022? Oh, okay, 21 of those are on dark and dark elevation. Okay, like I'm really gonna see those matches, right? So, I mean, it's good on paper, but like sometimes it's just not good execution on their end.
Yeah, and I'm not really a fan of modern wrestling to begin with. Just like the Young Bucks doing the, hey, I'm gonna do my finisher 15 times and not sell anything. Like I'm kind of
Yeah.
I'm kind of over that, which is like when you said you like Kenny Omega, and I just kind of went Like again, I don't hate Kenny Omega, and if you like Kenny Omega, that's if you like the Young Bucks. Yeah, Kenny Omega. I think he's a good wrestler, but it's just like I forget when I said this, but I just look at him and I go, "What does he do that's different from AJ?" You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I don't get Kenny Omega. I guess that's my only gripe is I don't get him. I don't get the hype.
Well, we seen a lot of wrestling when we were younger, right? So ECW really started it all as far as like upping the ante, right? As far as like in-ring quality, right? Rob Van Dam was freaking doing, Van Daminator. I can't believe when I saw the Van Terminator the first time, right? He did the Van Terminator to Scotty Riggs when Scotty Riggs was in freaking ECW for a cup of coffee. And, we're seeing spots like that, right? Mm-hmm. And TNA, they upped the ante a little bit. And in the indies, PWG, so like your Young Bucks, your Kenny Omegas, your El Genericos and your Kevin Steens, they were really upping the ante as far as in-ring stuff, right? So nowadays, like, I just saw this, the other day, I don't know if you guys saw this on Twitter, where someone did a, like a twisting cutter. Mm-hmm. Like they jump off the middle ropes and just did like a 360 twisting cutter, right, to their opponent. Looks impressive, right? But what does it do? It doesn't. There's no more impact, right? Like me thinking in a kayfabe sense, I'm like, why would he do that, right? Why would he do a 360 into a cutter, right? So if you guys haven't seen it on Twitter,
I know what you're talking about, and the guy jumped up forward to take it.
Exactly, right? So he
jumped right into it to take it, and I'm like,
yeah,
that's ridiculous. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, that's one of my issues there, right? You know what I mean? When it comes to modern wrestling, right? You can still do old school wrestling, and I'm a wrestling purist, right? So I've been watching wrestling since 1992, but like I'll go back and watch like wrestlings from the 70s and the 80s or whatnot, because that's like I said, I mentioned Macho Man is my favorite of all time. He had to watch something in order to, in order to build his craft, right? So, I'll go back and watch matches from freaking like, Dory and Terry Funk. So those matches are hard to get through, right? But there's reasons why that the crowd was hot back then, right? It wasn't necessarily because of the wrestling moves themselves, right? It was because of the story and the believability behind it, right? So, but that's why I like teams like tag teams. I love tag like FTR, right? Like FTR, they do a lot of great psychology in the ring, and I love them ever since they were in NXT, where they're known as the Mechanics. So I've been loving them for years, right? They don't do well. Once they got to AEW, they started doing like 450s and stuff. But like before then, they just did regular wrestling maneuvers in the ring. They did a little bit of modern stuff. At the same time as well, they told a story in the ring, and they really made the moves mean something versus just like, hey, I'm just gonna do a 450, I'm just gonna do a shooting star press, I'm gonna super kick you 15 times and you kick out of it. So I mean, wrestling can still be grounded, but a lot of times it's just number spots now and flips and stuff.
Which kind of segues into a news article that I pulled up. So Kevin Nash has a podcast. It's called Click This, with Sean Oliver from U-Shoots. And he talked about how he was down in an NXT taping. And he was with Shawn Michaels, and he tells him, I'm just quoting, I said to Shawn, fuck, slow the fuck down. He looks at me and goes, it's not that style anymore, you just have to accept that. The style is the style. If you go out there and do tests of strength, people will out of the arena. They are operatively conditioned how to do this. The fans want to see this. They want to see a spot fest. That's great. If that's what the fans want, I particularly don't.
Well, Kevin, you're out of luck.
You mean the great Kevin Nash and his memorable spots?
You can still do tests of strengths and arm. But it has to be done the right way, though. You know what I mean? Like, if it's it's done more in a and I hate to say this, but like more of a comedy spot, right? It can work, right? You know what I mean? But he does have a certain realization that because we're all numb to today's wrestling as far as like the regular spots, the arm drags and the headlocks and the the toe locks and things of that nature.
Right, because example, I forget which pay-per-view it was. It might have been like I don't know if it was like Full Gear or something, but every other match again was spot fest, high energy, and then you get to CM Punk and MJF, and they had a dog collar match, and I was noticing something about the match. I'm like, I'm enjoying the match, but it seems like the crowd isn't really enjoying it all that much. And then I realized, oh, you have the two wrestlers in the ring. MJF is a wrestler. He's not a spot guy. Punk is a wrestler. He's not a spot guy. So for the fans, it's like they're doing this high energy shit, and then when it gets to the actual wrestling, like methodical, technical chain wrestling, they're like, oh, we need to readjust. You know what I mean?
You go in line and go get a pretzel. Come on.
So I don't know, but yeah, I guess let's start with like the big news. So Ric Flair, rising up and comer Ric Flair, will have his final match, quote unquote, July the 31st, which is the day after SummerSlam. It will be at the Nashville Municipal Auditorium, and it was announced that he will be teaming up with Andrade El Idolo against Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. Ric Flair reveals that he has plantar fasciitis and says Charlotte will be at his final match. He said, I have plantar fasciitis in the bottom of my foot. Other than that, I'm perfect. The damn thing is sore as shit. I'm at the doctor right now. They're going to start injecting me with stuff.
Oh, good Lord.
Jesus Christ.
And yeah. So that's going to be next Sunday, the day after SummerSlam. Whoever wants to start off talking about this.
You know what? I'm not going to watch the whole event, but I'm going to watch that match because it's for the wrong reasons, by the way.
Yeah.
Like this it's going to be a clusterfuck, right? You know what I mean? Yeah, man. I'm really intrigued by this Flair just being Flair for the last time. I mean, he was just bleeding like a stuffed pig, and just Jay Lethal holding his head, and just Jeff Jarrett just being the heck out of him. But if you guys saw the actual the angle that they shot, right? To me, Ric Flair brought on himself, right? Storyline wise, right? He brought on himself because he's like, I always hate your father, and and all that stuff, and basically spat in Jarrett's face, right? Then Jarrett's like, start beating the heck out of him, made him bleed and all that. So, but in all seriousness, I hope Flair he doesn't get hurt, doesn't get a permanent injury from this match. You know what I mean? He's 73, 74 years old, right? You know what I mean? So it's crazy enough that he has like multiple surgeries, multiple operations done on him, and at the end of the day, I hope he's safe. That's the number one thing. I hope he's safe. I hope he's somebody who won't go back and regret looking at himself at this match or have complications from this match itself, though. But if all goes well, I just hope it's a crap fest. I'm not expecting a great match. Like, I'm only watching it for the laughs at this point.
RJ?
An absolute train wreck. That's what this is going to be. I mean, it's going to be a car crash. I don't expect a technical masterpiece myself personally either. Even though you got Andrade and Jay Lethal in there, two guys that can work and can go. But as far as Ric Flair is concerned, it's going to be a train wreck. And like you said, hey, certain train wrecks are good. Like, not everything has to be a 5-star technical Mac classic. Oh, I'm going to do a triple threat wrist lock into a bridge type wrestling match, Not everything has to be that. So I'm good. I'm good with this. And as far as the angle, That was shot. And I saw it yesterday morning after I got off from work, and I just busted out laughing. I'm like, what the hell is this shit?
Woo!
And Ric Flair getting beat up. Jay Lethal, I fucking loved you, man. I fucking loved you. Like, what the fuck? What is this shit? But nah, it was, they did whatever they had to get the match going. So, I felt with it. But yeah, I mean, I like you, Justin. I'm gonna watch it, but for all the wrong reasons.
Exactly.
So
it's gonna be a spectacle.
So when are we expecting Rick's 10th retirement match against Nick Gage?
Oh God!
Oh God, no! Come on.
Nick Gage will literally kill him.
Yeah. Y'all want to see body parts fall from Ric Flair's body?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
like,
Gage will literally kill him. Yeah.
It's like, put my head in the ice, and then he comes back. Retirement match number 15.
Retire! Oh no! Retire!
It's like, dude, you're literally a head. Oh. I mean,
I literally think that he'll die in the ring.
Like,
Ghost of Ric Flair retirement match number 20 against Charlotte.
again, Charlotte the second. I mean, I'll watch it, but like, kind of like you, I'm watching it for all the wrong reasons. Like, I obviously don't want to see anything bad happen to Rick. I mean,
Right.
is Rick a saint? No, but it's just like I don't want to see someone die in the ring. So I mean, I'm glad it's a tag match, so that way Rick doesn't have to do too much. Like he can just do like I guess the big, not really spots, but like the big I guess moves, and then he just brings in Idolo to like do the mechanic work, if that makes sense.
Idolo.
And Jarrett I think is a better opponent because I think is more of a safer opponent. Like it would be weird if it was like, put Ric Flair in the ring with fucking I don't know, Osprey or something.
They were saying, well, the rumor was they were gonna have. The rumor was they were gonna have. They're gonna be like the Rock and Roll Express, and somebody else. They were thinking about doing like a 6-man tag, but obviously that didn't happen. So
another rumor I heard was Jericho.
It was supposed to have been the Rock and Roll Express and their son, one of their sons.
Oh yeah. It was something like that versus like Ric Flair, Jay Lethal, and no, it was supposed to be like versus Ric Flair and FTR. That was the match.
I was listening to somebody. I think it was Mish and Kevin, where Mish was reading off the card for Sunday. It was actually a pretty interesting card. Let me try and pull it up real quick.
Yeah, now the show's not bad. Like we just had the Forbidden Door. This seems like more of a real Forbidden Door because you have literally have all the promotions being represented in some faction.
Yeah, you got Impact versus MLW there.
Yeah,
Fatu and Alexander. That should be a good match.
Yeah,
I selfishly want Jacob Fatu to win that.
yeah. That I mean, I don't think it's gonna happen, but
No, me neither.
Yeah, you have AEW represented there. You have MLW, Impact, right? Now you even have WWE technically. Jeff Jarrett. I mean, he's he's a backstage agent. WWE.
He's not great.
Oh, he's gonna be at SummerSlam the night before. Yeah. He's gonna be at SummerSlam the night before, and gonna have the wrestling match against Flair next night. That's crazy.
What's the name of the actual event? Because I can't find it.
It's J. Crockett Promotions, Ric Flair's last match.
All right, trying to look up the card. All right,
Jim Crockett Promotions.
What the hell is it?
Ric Flair's last match. Let me see. Starcast 5. Oh, okay. Let me see if I can put it to you in the chat here.
Okay, here we go. I got it.
Okay, cool.
Kerry and Ricky Morton with Robert Gibson versus Brian Pillman Jr. and Brock Anderson with Arn Anderson. The Wolves, Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards versus the Motor City Machine Guns. That could be interesting. Ray Phoenix and Taurus. Ray Phoenix and Taurus versus the Laredo Kid and Bandito.
Ooh.
Triple A right there, yeah.
Josh Alexander versus Jacob Fatu. Rachel Ellering and Jordan Grace versus Deanna Purrazzo.
Okay.
Killer Cross versus Harry Smith. Hey, Cross.
Good.
I'll watch it if he's on. Clark Connors versus Ren Narita. And then you got the Von Erich. I believe so, yes. And then the Von Erichs versus the Briscoes.
Yeah.
I'll watch.
No, the show's good. No, it's not some bullshit show. Like it's a stacked card. And then you got a bunkhouse battle royal too. So far, the only participant that's been announced is Bully Ray.
Oh God. He's like, I'll skip that match. I have to wash my hair.
Bully Ray. But I'm looking forward to that Von Erichs and Briscoe match.
The Von Erichs is a very good tag team, man. They just don't get enough exposure.
They're good guys too. Marshall Ross is well, both guys are great, but I talk to Ross a whole lot, so like he's a good guy.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I don't know. Do you see them going anywhere like AEW, WWE?
They had a WWE tryout. What was it, like a few years ago? I think they're just picking up their experience because they were green when they showed up in TNA like 6-7 years ago, and they had the WWE tryout. I heard it went well, but I think they're just picking up the experience in the seasoning, and why not a better place than MLW to do that? And I think they've gotten themselves over and they've had great matches. So,
right. I mean, for me, as much as I would love them to see them in WWE, right? I think the better place for them will probably be AEW because AEW cares more about tag teams than WWE. WWE, they're gonna end up having them there, and they may end up keeping them together. You never know, but just knowing WWE because they love to break up tag teams, they love the brothers feud or the families feud. Just Vince and Bruce Pritchard, they salivate at that. So,
wait a minute, hold on now. Vince and Bruce ain't running the company no more. Haven't you heard? Stephanie McMahon is running the show now.
Yeah, sure. Until I fired, I don't believe that for a second. Yeah, I mean,
it's the whole TV 14 rating and a lot of other different executive moves.
Stephanie's there as the figurehead. She's there as the figurehead. She's there for the, for the quarter calls and all that stuff. But Vince is still.
Vince is working that mouth like a puppet.
That's a good segue. So. Last week, this news actually broke after we did the show last week. So, It was reported that WWE was going to start doing a TV, or let me rephrase that. They were going to make Raw TV 14, again, for the first time since June of 2008. And I have it right here. Andrew Zarian, who I've never heard of before, honestly, and Fightful's Sean Ross Sapp reported that there were mixed signals given initially about the change. A date for the switch has not yet been finalized. In the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer reported that a source in WWE said that this looks to be a USA decision and not a WWE decision. It was pointed out that the news of the change coming from a USA Network internal memo would also indicate that USA was said to be accepting of Brock Lesnar using the word shit kicking on this episode of Raw. When Lesnar said the word, they did a sound. It's unclear whether Lesnar saying this had anything to do with the show having a TV-14 rating, but the timing of it being approved is notable. And also on the Peacock, you'll notice that SummerSlam has been given a TV-14 rating. So,
good.
Maybe the TV-14 rating starts at SummerSlam.
Why the fuck not?
And then they haven't said it about SmackDown. It's just Raw. But what do you guys think?
Go first.
I mean, it's fine. Like, I mean, if the writing can be a little bit more mature and the product can be more mature, why not? Eventually, the same fans that they try to cater to and want to keep, eventually they grow up. And yes, while you can also use the PG rating and stuff like that to help nurture and grow with some of the younger audiences, maybe those teenagers or preteens as little sisters or little brothers. I mean, sometimes you got to move with the audience too. So I just think that it's not a bad idea to try out. But of course, that doesn't change anything with the product unless people start writing the product and producing it a whole lot more better.
I'm kind of the same, because it's like, they were able to get away with TV-14 back in the day because you had stars. You had Austin, you had The Rock, you had DX, you had the New Age Outlaws. Austin could be a badass and flick people off and, talk about, I'm about to open a can and whoop ass on this son bitch. Like, he could do that, and it's cool. Like, nowadays, it's just like, maybe Roman, gets away with that. Brock obviously gets away with that, but I mean, who else on the roster can get away with being... Or, let me rephrase that. Who else on the roster can be enhanced by being TV-14? I mean, like... Maybe
Seth. Maybe.
That's
what I'm saying, maybe. It depends how he does it, but...
Cody, you can kiss my ass, you asshole. Like that?
It's a whole lot. If he drops his character, and he can go back to being Agent of Fall, Tyler Black type thing. Oh, trust me, he can do it. He can do it. I know you're not familiar with the work, Drew. Maybe Justin is, but yeah, like he can. If he drops this whole gimmick, he can get there. He can get there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think he has it in him, but as far as the TV-14 rating, to me, like, yeah, it'll be cool, right? Maybe we'll get blood, right? We'll get a couple shits in there, right? You know what I mean? Or sons of bitches, right? But to me, it doesn't matter if it's a TV-14 rating or not, because if you look at NXT, like 2017, 2018, right? They were straight PG. And they were the best wrestling show on the planet, in my opinion, right? Mm-hmm. Imagine if they were TV-14 with that writing stuff, right? Oh my God, it would just been probably some of the best stuff of all time to enhance, right? You know what I mean? But it just comes down to the folks that are in charge, the writing, right? If you're going to write a product, right, and it's not engaging, I don't care if it's TV-14 or not. I don't care if you say, shit on a promo or whatnot, or if you show some boobs, or, this match gets color, right? You know what I mean? Like, if it's not engaging to me, then, I'm not gonna care. So, as long as they try to turn a leaf with the TV-14 along with the writing team as well, I think it could be a positive thing, but for me right now, I'm not seeing it by the way it's currently constructed.
I think one benefit from the product being TV-14 is it can make the matches mean a lot more and be a lot more edgier. And what I mean is, like, when WWE does a last man standing match, their idea of a last man standing match is just like, obviously two guys beating each other up, but it's just like, at the end of the day, none of them have a speck of blood on them, no cuts, no bruises. And it's like, this isn't a last man standing match. Like, I don't know what the fuck that is.
This ain't no damn war. What the hell is this?
It's like, I forget which match it was. I think it was like Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly. They had a last man standing match. And it's like, okay, can we get some blood, please? And it's like, Kyle O'Reilly had like a small cut on his arm. It's like, that's the best we can do. And it's just like, a lot of these hardcore matches that they do in WWE, it's just like there's no consequences. There's no action without consequences. And it's just like, I'm not saying I want to see like a freaking Crimson Mask on Charlotte, which that'd be pretty metal, by the way. I think she could pull it off. But yeah, if I'm seeing two women have a Hell in the Cell match, I need to see some fucking damage. Like, I need to see Charlotte have bruises. I need to see her have a cut on the side of her head. I need to see someone with their fucking mouth busted open and a broken nose with fucking blood coming out. Like, I need it to look like these two, like, actually went through hell in a cell. And not just heck in a box. You know what I mean? So that could benefit. But yeah, you guys are right. Like, TV 14 isn't just going to magically make the show better, because it all comes down to the writing. You know, because the Attitude Era can't be replicated. Like, wrestling, to me, I don't think it can be mainstream ever again, because there's no stars. There's no, like, big, large-in-life stars, except for maybe Brock, but that's about it. Like, their best chance is to try to make it cool. You know, it's like... it's like you look at the Marvel movies. Like, they appeal to not just kids, but they appeal to adults, because kids watch them, but they'll have like dialogue or something in the movie where only the adults will get and enjoy a little bit more. You know, not Marvel, but like, you know, Vince or just WWE in general needs to try and replicate that formula of like, let's make it. We can make it for kids to enjoy, but our audience is growing up, so we need to try and get that fan base back, you know, because we can't just be content with, you know, barely 2 million viewers. You know, if we can get like 3 million viewers, which I think they can, if they really apply themselves, they can get 3 million viewers again. You know, that could work. But again, it's like you said, better writing, and also, like, if I had it my way, I would just get rid of the Hollywood writers and just let the wrestling people write the show. But that's just me.
Absolutely. No, I'm with you 100%.
Yeah, just like, why isn't Triple H helping write the show? Why isn't Shawn Michaels helping write the show? Why don't they bring in like other wrestling people to write the show? You know, if like, you know, what is the joke of a lot of these Hollywood writers, is that they're trying to write for somebody that's a badass, but most of them probably never been in a fight, and they're trying to tell someone how to fight.
Right.
You know, just bring in people that. Yeah, Scott.
He's trying to tell me how to act like a badass.
He's fat.
Oh,
But yeah, I mean, for TV 14, but it's just, you know, don't just rely on it being TV 14. Like, do other things to make the show better. That's just me. Other bit of news, WWE management is reportedly not happy with the SummerSlam card. Which is just like, you guys literally made the fucking card.
How though?
No, really? Oh,
I mean,
they're not happy.
how are they not unhappy? How are they unhappy with the card? Like,
I can tell you why. There's a lot to it. Cody got injured, right? So I know Cody he was very big for Money in the Bank. You know, he had that whole promo inside of Allegiant Stadium, right? Then it was like, oh, LOL, you're injured. Okay, let's just go to I think they went to like the Thomas and Mack Center or the T-Mobile Arena, wherever they went to, right? Or for Money in the Bank. Then Cena is not going to be on the show. He was rumored to take on Austin Theory, right? You're going to have Orton was supposed to go up against Roman, right? Well, that was the plan. And he got injured, so it's like, okay, LOL, let's do, Roman and Brock for the 20th time, right? So I can see why they're unhappy, and I think some of the things I named is probably some of the reasons why they're unhappy with the card itself.
Okay, but that's things they can't control. They can't
control
Cody getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, but this is why I've been saying all along. This is why you got to start building other people up besides one damn man. See? If so focusing on putting all the eggs in the Roman Reigns basket that everybody else is getting laden waste to the side. They have to look at this as a lesson now. We have to start pushing other guys. Your most successful era, your most two successful eras, and all three of us grew up during these eras, was the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era. Like, they made the most stars in those two eras. One man went down, the next man came up. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, one man gets hurt and fuck, who do we give the belt to now? And it's that. I mean, it's that pain. It's that painful now.
I think as well, back in the day, they had more balls too. Like people like Stone Cold, Rock. You know what I mean? Like, Foley. They would have more balls and like speak out about stuff and like, well, ask, okay, well, why are we doing that type of thing, right? A lot of these guys now, since WWE's corporate, they just go with the flow, right? Just being done what they're told, and there's a couple of guys that may speak out, but But like, imagine if, for example, Austin Theory speaks out about, about the way I mean, and that's a bad example because he won Money in the Bank, right? But let's say he's on TV every week losing or whatnot, right? I mean, like, if he speaks out, then all of a sudden it makes it seem like, oh, you're not reliable, or, we can't trust you, this, that, and the other, and all of a sudden you're punished. And you can't, you're not going to get moved up the card and you're going to be losing every week, right? So, I mean, I get your point and I agree with you. It's just that a lot of these guys, they're too scared to say anything, right? They wanna just go with the flow and just, not rock the boat per se.
Right, and it's just, me and RJ talked about this. Like, I think Vince really does like when people can be not subservient and actually stand up and say, this is my spot. Like, I'll step up and take the brass ring, as you say. Whereas people are just, again, they're afraid to step on toes. They just want to be happy and content with their spot. And there's just, I mean, Roman's probably the only guy that, can get away with just saying, Roman and Pat McAfee and Brock Lesnar, I think, are the only guys in the company that can get away with just doing whatever the fuck they want. I mean, there's a story where Pat McAfee, his first day in the company was WrestleMania, and he was wearing a blazer and shorts. And Vince McMahon, cussed him out, saying, "What the fuck are you wearing?" And Pat apparently, well, I don't think Pat literally said it, but Pat's mindset was like, "Fuck you, I'll do whatever I want." And Vince just went, "I like him." Like, Vince, and you notice how they allow Pat to get away with a lot. Like, on commentary, he'll say things, and I'm just like, wow. They're just letting him do whatever the fuck they want. And obviously they love him since they gave him a shit ton of money to stay.
Of course.
But, yeah, I mean, they're... we've been... Tales all this time. They need to build more stars because it's just like, they build guys, but I have a feeling they're afraid to pull the trigger because they're not sure if they're ready. You look at Riddle. Riddle's over as fuck. And...
No, it's not that they're not ready, Drew. Let's call it for what it is. They're afraid that they're going to leave for Hollywood. And as soon as their contracts go to come up, that's what it is. They're afraid to make the next big star for that reason alone.
Well, I've been saying that for a while. What I'm saying about right now is just like, I mean, yeah,
you mean to tell me Matt Riddle's not ready? Him and Bobby Lashley are over like a motherfucker.
That's what I just said. Riddle's over.
Like, I mean,
Lashley's over.
Reaction, that reaction both of those guys got last week. And I go back even to that Hell in a Cell reaction Lashley got. I'm like, holy shit. This is probably the biggest fucking cheers this motherfucker's ever gotten his, damn near 20-year career. That was the biggest ovation I've ever heard Bobby Lashley get, period. Be your Impact.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. And then, I mean, he's getting bro chants up the wazoo. Like, I seen my friend went to the show that they had not too long ago in California. And Riddle came out, that place went absolutely nuts. Bro chants. I mean, it was crazy. It gave me chills just looking at that. I was like, damn, man.
So for the guys that are in WWE right now, right? So if you look at the roster, or if you can think about the roster, who would say, if you pick maybe like 3 guys and you think should be pushed as a top guy?
I mean, besides the obvious?
Yeah, it's like outside of the people who are already made already. So I'm not talking about like an AJ Styles or a Cody Rhodes or an Edge or anybody like that. I'm talking about like 3 up-and-comers who hasn't really been the main event scene, but that has that potential.
I mean, Riddle's over as fuck. He's ready. I like Theory. I know people are kind of poo-pooing over Theory, but the guy has the look. He has everything they like. The guy's talented. I mean, there was that conversation about, who would you rather pick, Theory or Sammy Guevara? Theory. Because Theory wrestles and he doesn't have to kill himself. Theory knows, hey, I'm 20-something. I got a nice career ahead of me. Why do I need to do the flippy dippy shit? So I'm just gonna take it easy in the ring, and I like him. So Theory, Riddle, and trying to think of a third one. I would say Lashley, but Lashley's over. But I'm thinking of somebody that hasn't already been in that spot before.
Oh yeah.
Lashley's already a made man.
Yeah. Well, Lashley's been around for 20 years too, so almost.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna pick somebody, and you guys are probably gonna be like, "What?" Pat
You just say
McAfee.
Von Wagner.
Pat McAfee.
You know what? I don't know if you seen my tweet a couple of weeks ago, but I said, shit, WWE just better off just giving this man a time performer contract at this point. This guy's over like a motherfucker. He's more over than your top babyface.
Like, you know, it'd be cool. So, like, have him be a performer and an announcer at the same time. Like, put a title on him, and then just have him go to the fucking like commentary with Cole. Look at me, Cole! I'm the WWE champion! Like, just have him just, like, talk shit on commentary. And then, like, when his opponents are coming to the ring, they're like, what, boy? What? Like, just, I can just imagine him just, like, having a ball on commentary more than he already is as champion. Like,
hold on, Cole. I'm about to beat his ass real quick. Pat McAfee goes in the ring.
watch my title, Cole. Don't touch it, or I'm gonna smack you. I'll be right back.
So
yeah, but
like,
I agree with that though. Like Riddle Theory and Pat McAfee is somebody that I've been calling for a while. And I'm like, look, hey, I would not be mad if Vince came up with the twisted idea to have Pat McAfee beat Roman Reigns for the double titles. And I am so serious when I say that. And why the fuck not? He's a big guy. He can hold his own. He can talk. The fans love this guy. They love this guy, and he's earned it. So
I love Pat
it's
McAfee.
organic.
Too.
It's organic too.
Go ahead, Justin.
Definitely love Pat McAfee. He's a great color guy, man. Like we haven't had a great color guy like that probably since maybe to Jerry Lawler, maybe my date. Maybe like has there been a better color guy since Jerry Lawler other than Pat McAfee? I don't think so, in my opinion. Mm-mm. I mean, you had Taz's, you had your JBLs or whatnot, but I think Pat McAfee has been so great at what he's doing that he revitalized Michael Cole. So, but for me, some more guys I think can be something. If done right, Montez Ford, whenever the Street Profits...
I forgot about him. Fuck, yeah.
He is so damn good. He is so damn good, Montez Ford. Also, as well, I'm gonna go with a shocking one, maybe. Gunther, right?
Gunther.
I love him. He's legit. He's a badass. If you watch his NXT stuff, his NXT UK stuff, man, he is a believable heel champion, dominator, 100%. I think he's somebody that can, really become somebody in the company if pushed right. And another guy, he's on NXT right now, Carmelo Hayes. I love Carmelo Hayes, man.
I like Hayes.
Hey, Justin.
So good. Yeah.
Can I tell you something real quick? Can you believe Drew Yari had the balls to call Carmelo Hayes generic?
Generic.
Once upon a time.
He called this man generic.
I can see where he's coming from, but nah. I think he has star potential on him.
No.
But another guy though, and we get back to Carmelo Hayes right after this, but I just gotta get this out before I forget. Give this guy a couple years, and I'm telling you, this guy is gonna be a big single star, man. I was watching NXT last night. He cut this promo, man. He had passion behind it, man. And he's a young guy, Julius Creed from the Creed brothers.
Yes.
Man.
That guy is fucking yoked. He is yoked.
He is so awesome, man. He is so awesome.
I told my brother the same thing like 2 weeks ago, because he was cutting the promo. And then they had the match at In Your House, and I'm like, Julius, man. And I saw something to him day one, his debut. People were like, who's these two generic twinks and this, that, and the other. I'm like, first of all, these two guys are far from twinks. And they're doing that, the amateur, background wrestling. I mean, that's legit. They got legit credentials. But these guys, they have something. Give them time. This is why, and we've watched them develop into champions over the last couple of months. This is why NXT is there. And these guys are taking advantage of it. And I'm proud of their progress. And I said the same thing. Both of those, I think Big Brute, he's got singles potential, but I think Julius he's got main event potential.
And he has the star power, 100%.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I agree with that, 1,000%.
Right, and I was watching it.
I thought you was going to go with Von Wagner for a minute.
Oh God!
You know what? I like Von Wagner. His promo's just terrible. You know what I mean? That's all it is. I like him. He's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, also,
Von Wagner's a little bit of a running joke on the shows.
Von Smash.
So I may give y'all one too. I call him Von Khali because he looks like the Great Khali.
Oh,
dude, I called him the Great White Khali on Twitter, and people were like, "Wait, what?" I'm like, "He's got the same jawline like Khali, man."
Yes, he sure does. Yeah.
So Justin, the inside joke that we have about Von is whenever Von gets mad. Like instead of the Hulk saying Hulk smash, Von will say Von smash, and for some odd reason, and we don't even know why we made this up, Von will want to fuck your wife. Von will show up to your wife. Von will show up to your house and say, Von smash, what the fuck your wife?
I can definitely see that 100%.
Oh God! But yeah, going back to Hayes, I've done a 180 on Hayes. At first, I just saw him another small guy. What about the big guys we're getting? And I've done a 180 on him. I like him. I like his swagger. I like his matches. A lot of the stuff that he's in, the segments and the vignettes or whatever. Oh, Anna Jay's a heel now. Oh, there we go. Yeah, she just turned on Ruby and now she's teaming with Aya and she's beating the shit out of Ruby.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, I have it on too. This match has been bullocks.
But anyways, going back to Hayes, I like his swagger. I like his vignettes. I like the stuff he does with Trick in the barbershop. I enjoy it. I like him. I think he's one of the shining spots of NXT. So, yeah, once upon a time, I thought he was just another generic small guy, but he's proved that he's more than that.
It's interesting you brought up Trick Williams. That's a guy that can also do something in a couple of years as well. That guy's
he's
got
right now, but yeah, he can definitely be somebody.
Trick, I see his old Dojo Wars tapes, and Trick's not bad. He's just got to control some of that athleticism a little bit. He's one of those guys that tries a little too much in the ring for his experience. But once he gets that underneath wraps and underneath control, I think that's another guy we need to be talking about too in the future.
Yeah, 100%. Agree with you. But there's a lot of talent on NXT 2.0, and I think NXT 2.0, I think they get a bad rap because it's not as great as the 2017, 2018, 2019 NXT, right? Mm-hmm. If you're going in there with that expectation, you're not going to enjoy the show. Just find a couple stars that you're gonna gravitate towards to, and just really get behind them. I love Tony D'Angelo, right? Because I just love the typical stereotype Italian. That's just my thing. I always like to watch, The Godfather and the movies like that, and hey, paisana, bachata. I love that. I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
Too.
You know what I mean? So and obviously he has a strong stable right now, and he looks good, right? So there's a lot of people on there, men and women, right? I know we've been talking about a lot of men, but Roxanne Perez, oh gosh, she's a star. She's gonna be a star.
I like her.
She's gonna be amazing. You know what I mean? Nikita Lyons. You know what I mean? Just
thicker than biscuit butter. God damn.
God, man. That means she's thicker. She's thicker than morning spit. You know what I mean?
Jesus Christ.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of talented folks on NXT. You know, can a show be better? Yeah. Is it kind of cheesy? Absolutely right. But I think if you look past that, if you look behind that and see what WWE is doing, they're really building that foundation going forward.
Yeah, and look, I was a guy that grew up. Well, not grew up, but in my late teens, I was an FCW fan. So this ain't new to me. That's why I enjoy NXT 2.0 more than the rest, because I wasn't spoiled to have these 5-star matches on NXT or on FCW back then every week. So, and this is exactly what this is. This is going back to real developmental territories. This is the only thing is that it's on national television. That's the only, and the budget is obviously better.
Right.
So yeah, like I'm cool with NXT 2.0. You got to build for the future. You got to start now. And look, I'm sorry. Is it your favorite indie wrestlers aren't gonna be on here anymore? NXT's not built around the 40-year-olds anymore.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, because as much as I like NXT 2.0, I think the only thing I think that kind of hurts it is that a lot of these guys they don't know how to work. A lot of their matches are choreographed, so they practice their matches, right? A lot of these guys, right? I mean, I'm not talking about like the Alba Fires or the for the folks who've been there for a while, like the Roderick Strongs, people who've been wrestling, right? I'm talking about like, to the point of like Lash Legends, right? She's terrible. She is awful. Even to the extent like the Von Wagners and the Tony D'Angelos, right? I like those guys, right? But like when it comes to let's say something happens on a match and something goes wrong, it's like, okay, it's like, what's our next spot? What do we do next, right? They need to know how to work and call spots in the ring versus just like, okay, I just need to go from spot to spot to spot to spot to spot.
Right, and I give NXT 2.0 a chance. Again, there's things I like about it. I like Nikita. I mean, I like her wrestling. Let me just make that clear. I like her wrestling. I like Toxic Attraction.
Sure you do.
Sure I do, wink wink. I like Gigi, I like Gigi, Dolan for her wrestling.
Not for that rear end.
Goddamn. Again, I like Julius Creed. I want to see more Julius Creed. I want to see Wesley, get that push. I mean, because he's a sympathetic white meat babyface. Who are some other ones I like? Who forgot what I was gonna say. I like Cameron Grimes. I like Cameron Grimes. I like how he's used. He's the white meat stomp and clap babyface. Of course I like Braun.
I don't know if he's gonna be stomping and clapping anytime soon. The way it look like it's going with him.
Him and Joe Gacy, which is intriguing. So I give any.
I think he's gonna be joining that cult soon.
Yeah, which I like because the whole point of Joe Gacy is he's a cult leader. And he's here to bring in new people. He's here to manipulate your emotions, and that's what he's doing with Cameron. And I find that interesting.
What do you think about the new Baby Kane?
Baby Kane. Oh, okay, yeah. The grizzled young vets who are now Gacy's minions. That's interesting because those guys weren't really doing anything, so. They needed a new.
I like it.
Yeah, they need a new character. They need a new change, just like in wrestling. I mean, and WWE obviously they like them enough to say, let's keep these guys, but let's give them a character change.
Right.
So
I like it.
They're a good team. They're a good team. At first, I didn't like Zach Gibson all that much, but Gibson's good. Gibson's good. Drake doesn't have a lot of charisma. But he's a good little worker too, so I mean they complement each other. So yeah, I like the grizzled young veterans. So I mean the fact that they kept them, that's a blessing in its own right. Because usually guys like those two guys are usually the first ones to go sometimes. But I like the fact that they were Gacy and stuff like that. He needed new henchmen after they got rid of Baby Brock there for not improving or whatever. And here we are, and looks like he might be getting Grimes soon. I still think he needs another. I think
intriguing.
he needs another big guy though.
It's a
Gotta
very
replace Harlan a
intriguing,
little bit.
it's a very intriguing. I'm sorry, but it's a very intriguing group that they got. Just because of the fact that you got the Grizzly Young Veterans, and I love them in NXT UK. Like
Me too.
Zach Gibson, you know, he's like in the UK, man. Oh my god, like he's like the most hated heel. You know what I mean? You would thought the Iron Sheik was you know back in the 80s. You know what I mean? Because he was getting booed so loud there. So, you know, I still wish that they were the Grizzly Young Veterans though. But if they were still the Grizzly Young Veterans, guess what? WWE, they may end up cutting them. And that's just the way it is. I hate to say that because I love the team, but just knowing how the company thinks, and I mean that's what they'll probably end up doing for them. So the fact that they end up changing their gimmick and they're going along with it to see how it goes, you know, I'm very intrigued to see what they do with them.
No, and Justin, don't ever apologize for putting your thinking cap on, man. Because that's all you're doing. You putting on your logical thinking cap, and a lot of wrestling fans, they don't do that, and that's why they be all mad and frustrated about why WWE does certain things. This is like, yo, like they got to give these guys that suits WWE television.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna send Zach Gibson out there to cut a promo in front of Bumblefuck Town, Texas. Sorry, guys. You know, you're gonna send him to Corpus Christi, Texas, to cut a promo and expect him to get booed and whatnot. Come on.
Well, to be fair, you don't really get much of a reaction in Corpus Christi, regardless. But
that's
my point exactly. You're not going to send him out there, and I mean, it's just they had to do what they had to do. Same thing with A-Kid, like that. That's why I've been defending the whole AXM gimmick. Like they had to give the kid a gimmick. He looks like the fucking that little Spanish porn guy that goes around fucking all the big titty girls on Brazzers. Like. That's exactly what that kid looks like.
Jordy.
So, I mean, they had to put they had to put a fucking mask on that kid and make him, you know, give him a gimmick.
I want to give that a chance because when I saw it, I was like, a mathematician superhero, and I was just like thinking about it. I'm like, okay, I don't want to be Drew Cornette that hates everything. I want to give things a chance, so I gave it a chance more than I'll give Cora Jade a chance. I'll just put it that way.
I mean, it wasn't like he was doing math problems in the middle of the match.
Like I said, I'm going to give it a chance, and if it wins me over, I'll be the first one to say it works. Speaking of things that don't go ahead.
I thought that entrance was pretty cool yesterday. By the way.
Oh, it was cool. I liked it. That's pretty.
I was like, damn. I was like, okay, this is fucking good. I like this. So, I mean, yeah, we have to wait and see. But the moment he starts doing division problems in the middle of the ring, then we got a problem.
Speaking of another gimmick that is the opposite of what we're talking about, J.D. McDonough, the former Jordan Devlin.
Mr. Build a Blockhead ass. God damn, that dude's got a fucking noggin on him, don't he?
Oh, yeah.
So
I hate to take a headbutt from him.
Is he supposed to be like the guy from that show Nip Tuck? Like, what is he supposed to be?
I mean, according to what I'm looking at, Baby Bowler, I call him. Baby Bowler, he's pretty much right. He's an Irish playboy. He's the same thing. He's the same thing as
and Balor.
He's the same thing as Jesus Christ, man. Because they changed his name too. Da Vinci or Vinci. Yeah, God, Jesus Christ, man. From Imperium.
Fabian Eichner.
Yeah, Fabian Eichner. Yeah, he's the same. They have like the same gimmick, pretty much. I mean, but Fabian Eichner is he's showing like he's like more rich. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you know, I drive all these fast cars. I'm Italian. You know what I mean? But but Eddie Madonna, basically he's same gimmick. So I don't know.
I'm an Irish playboy. I'm Finn Balor's son. Same pose and all.
Pretty much, yeah.
And then he's feuding with.
Look scary alike. Oh God, it's scary how much they look alike.
And he's feuding with Braun.
That's his son.
Which is just like, I don't know.
I
whatever.
understand it. It's somebody that can work. They can go up against. Because who are you going to put Braun Breaker against on that roster?
It's kind of scrap right now because he already went through a couple guys already. You know what I mean?
All the established, and they're putting him against established guys that know how to work. Maybe getting rid of a lot of the indie guys wasn't such a great idea. You know, trying to make everybody from scratch.
Has he had that one-on-one match with Carmelo Hayes yet for the title? I don't remember.
No, and
okay.
that shouldn't come for a while. They got to save that.
Yeah. They're gonna save that, but yeah, Hayes is gonna need to drop the North American title first before you can get there.
Yeah, I think that's the Wesley, by the way. It kind of has to be,
right? Yes. Think about that.
Yeah,
because I was thinking about it the other night because Wesley was cutting his promo last night, looking all freshed out with the braids. I see you, Wesley. You out here looking clean, my bro. But yeah, he was cutting the promo, you know, and I was like, you know what? All this shit with Trick Williams and how Trick Williams just beat him a couple weeks ago, because you would think that should have been an easy, you know, pickup win for momentum, right? But, you know, that'll be put the little roadblock and had Trick Williams get the win. You know, it has to set up for a journey down the line. I think that journey is to Carmelo Hayes and that North American title.
Oh, so you're talking about Wesley and Carmelo Hayes?
Yeah, I think they.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Wesley and Braun Breaker. I was like, oh, no way.
No. But I think that's down the line, though. Well, not Wesley, but Carmelo Hayes.
Carmelo Hayes, yeah. But I mean, for Braun Breaker, he still has a couple opponents left. I mean, he can. I mean, Sol Sikoa, if he gets up to that point, he's very over with the crowd there. You got Von Kali, right? You know what I mean? They can have a program there. And out of anybody, I think the only person I think can actually take the title off of him right now, by the current roster, I'm not talking about anybody else coming in or someone coming down from the main roster, Tony D'Angelo. They're building Tony D'Angelo and his faction strong. I mean, I don't know how I feel about if he's champion, even though I like Tony D'Angelo. If you look at the roster, who else is believable? He did Joe Gacy. He did Grayson Waller already. I think he already had a chance with Grayson Waller too. I don't really see much of anybody else that can really take the title off of Braun Breaker other than Tony D'Angelo and maybe long shot Von Wagner.
Justin, have you seen any of Tony D'Angelo's work outside of WWE?
Vaguely. It was a little bit, but I mean, I thought he just came in straight to WWE though. I thought he was part of that the NIL program. So yeah, I think I've seen a little bit, but it wasn't much of anything.
Yeah, right. I saw that and I was like, wait, what? Tony D'Angelo was on the Indies a little bit before signing. But yeah, Tony. Yeah, you're right. I mean, he's believable, and I like Tony D'Angelo too. Like, I mean, I'm into the mobster type stuff. Like, I'm a sucker for like mobster characters, so to speak. So, like, he intrigues me a whole lot based off that alone. And guess what? Hey, sometimes you need characters to get over too. Ring work can't be the number one priority in all cases. So I'm good with that. But he's got to be good enough to have a good match, though. And not the choreographed, you know, like you said, the practice PC match. He's got to be good enough to have good matches on the fly. Because he's not going to get that luxury every time when he gets called up. This is not going to happen. So, yeah, he's a guy that I could see him and Vaughn, like as far as like believability that can go up to Braun Breaker, smash him in the mouth with the belt. Like, those two guys are like most believable.
I will say so. I'll put Solo Sikoa up there too as well. Like,
so I don't think Solo's long for NXT.
I don't think he's long for NXT. We're just talking about believability, right?
Yeah, you're right.
So I believe if it came to a chance, I'm like, oh, maybe he has a chance here. But to your point, I think he's not long for NXT. Josh Briggs too. I know he's in the tag team with the other guy. They're the UK tag team champions, Brooks Jensen. Mm-hmm. Josh Briggs, man, when he was in Evolve,
he was a monster.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And I would have thought he would have been I honestly thought he would have been one of the top guys in this NXT 2.0. So I was kind of perplexed. They put him in a tag team. They changed the gimmick, cut his hair. I'm like, you know what I mean? But
he was a whole lot bigger too.
Yeah. But Josh Briggs, man, like if they, he's gonna have a singles run too. Him and Julius Creed are gonna be the two that's gonna break away from their tag teams eventually, and become single stars down the road for sure.
I 1,000% agree. 1,000% agree with you. Good Lord, I got my words all mumbled up. But
especially Creed, dude.
1,000%.
Yeah, Julius Creed and fucking Braun. Like, sign me up. I want to. Yeah, I'm like Big E. Two big meaty men slapping meat. Like, that's what I want to fucking see. Bumping meat. Bumping meat.
That's gonna be good. That's gonna be good.
So what else? I guess just not really on the topic. I'll just pull up the NXT results. So NXT this past Tuesday or yesterday, actually. It was kind of a mixed bag, in my opinion. I mean, I thought it was an enjoyable show. One thing I'll say about NXT 2.0, it's a much better wrestling show than AEW. Because it's...
Wait a minute.
It's simple
Time
wrestling.
Out, Drew. Come on now.
Simple wrestling.
Let's not get ridiculous. Okay, let's not get ridiculous.
My middle name... That's my middle name. Ridiculous.
NXT 2.0 has got better wrestling.
So define better wrestling.
To me, it's just like, again, I said I'm not a fan of the spot shit. I'm not a fan of spot. Do your problem. Do your finisher 15 times and kick out at 2. Where
that's you, old man.
Well, whatever, boomer. Because while we were talking, I was watching the everywhere barbed wire, whatever fuckity fuck match, and Eddie Kingston, or what is it? Ortiz comes in the ring and hits Jericho in the head with a sock full of pennies, and then Eddie Kingston suplexes Jericho on a table of barbed wire, and Jericho kicks out at 2.
Come on, that should have been a finish.
So I don't know. NXT I enjoyed because it's the wrestling I like. It's like let's make the matches simple. Let's protect our finishers. Let's not do our finisher 80,000 times in a match. So, but yeah, NXT this past Tuesday was bag. We already talked about JD. We already talked about Cameron Grimes. Let's talk about my favorite female wrestler. RJ, you know me well enough. Who's my favorite female wrestler in NXT? And I say that with quotation fingers.
Miss Cora Jade.
Cora Jade. I love Cora Jade. I think she's amazing. I totally don't think that she sucks and that she gives horrible promos where it sounds like she's doing an 8th grade monologue. I love it. I adore her. Ugh. So, last week Cora turned on Roxanne, and she came out and gave her heel promo, and just I'm listening to it because I'm like, okay, let's see what she can do as a heel. Again, I want to give people a chance. Again, it sounded like she was doing an 8th grade fucking monologue for a school play. She goes up there and she just starts talking. She's like, haha, shut the hell up. Haha, everyone can burn in hell. Huh? She starts chuckling. She starts doing that chuckling thing where when people are when an 18-year-old girl is talking shit, she starts chuckling the whole time because she's laughing at her own joke. And I'm like, how many times has she chuckled in this fucking promo? And maybe it's because I don't like Cora that much, or maybe she's just really not that good at all. But it's just I saw everybody on Twitter, people whose opinions I trust and I respect, and they were singing this promo's praises. They were saying that was a damn good promo by Cora. Cora can cut a really good promo. I'm like, what am I seeing that you guys? What am I not seeing that you guys are seeing? I don't like Cora. I'm sorry. I'm not a Cora fan.
What did Kev say about the promo?
I don't think I saw him say anything about it. I know he was talking to Mish earlier, and I missed that show, but I have a feeling he probably liked it more than I did. Like he gives Cora a lot more credit than I do, which is weird because I would think he would not like her. But I don't know. I'm not a Cora fan. Sorry, just nothing she does is good. She can't wrestle. She can't throw a punch. She can't cut a promo. She's not good. She can't do anything right, in my opinion.
You got a great tattoo on her butt, though. I will say that.
I did see a picture that was like, and then I thought it was like, yeah, she's just barely like 20, 21. I'm like, ugh. You know what I mean? Like I feel a little dirty. Like I feel like a dirty old man. I'm 34 years young. Like, you know, I feel like an old boomer looking at her like, ugh. But
God.
But with Cora, I think I know why a lot of people liked it. The promo itself. To me, I was lukewarm on it. There were some things I liked about it, but I would say it was, I would say about 40% a good promo to 60% not a good promo. A lot of people liked it because it's a heel promo. Most promos nowadays, if it's a heel promo or someone cutting into the crowd or cutting into their opponent, right, people are gonna like it. You know what I mean? Because it's real, it's a shoot, brother. You know what I mean? If it's just like a regular babyface promo and, you know, and the babyface is just trying to, get the crowd behind them, right, and trying to put themselves over and things of that nature, you know, it's not going to come off as genuine, right? So I think that's probably the reason why a lot of people like the promo. She could cut her promo is because it's a heel promo. Cutting a heel promo is not hard.
Right.
But a babyface promo is hard.
Yeah, as somebody that dabbles and does like e-feds and cuts like video promos and stuff like that, it is way more fun and way more easier to just tear into your quote-unquote opponent. So yeah, I definitely agree there. It's more fun being a heel and getting to tear into people and tear on the fans and, oh, you fucking suck. Yo, bitch.
Right.
You know, it's way more fun to do that stuff. So yeah, I mean, it was something. And I get Drew's point. Drew's like, oh, blame Roxanne, the whole heel the heel promo formula. So, I mean, I get what you were saying earlier on Twitter, Drew, but yeah, I think that's why people liked it, though, because, you know, it's Cora Jade. She's fighting evil now, you know? So, you know, that's going to drive a lot of people's, a lot of people's attention, too, so.
But like as a heel, shouldn't she like change her look though? Because like when she came back to the ring for the Battle Royal, she was still wearing the backwards hat and, you know, looking like a skater punk, which I'm like, shouldn't you like, since you're supposed to be a bad girl, quote unquote, shouldn't you like, I don't know, dress like a bad girl, wear all black?
I think that's coming soon. I think they need to have her explain her actions first before they do the whole total makeover and change. Like Roman had to have that gradual change, right? You know what I mean? From, you know, just wearing the vest, right, with the Shield music. Now he removed the vest. Now he doesn't have the Shield music no more. He has the Final Boss music now. So I think with heels, we see the gradual change instead of the change automatically. Like same thing with Bayley, right? Bayley, you know, she came out when she turned heel and she cut down the Bayley buddies, right? You haven't seen them since, right? I'm gonna pop when they come back when she turns babyface, but that's another story. Then she cuts her hair, then she changes her music, right? So, I just think it's gonna be a gradual increase when we see with Cora Jade. I like to hope.
Yeah, then go ahead.
I believe it too. I think she's gonna go back to her old look from the Indies, the whole Elena Black look. I think that's coming back. So, yeah. I agree.
The main event for NXT was a battle royal to determine who will face Mandy Rose for the NXT Women's Championship. My money was on Nikita Lyons because
you lost your money.
Jesus Christ. My imaginary money. I lost my imaginary money. The returning Zoe Stark won the fucking Battle Royal. To which Tiffany Stratton, which again, I like Tiffany Stratton. I've done a 180 on her. I think she's improved. I think she's actually very good now. So I see a bright future for her. But when she eliminated Nikita, I yelled, "Fuck you!" Like I was that fucking incensed because I was already looking at the current crop of women in the ring. I'm like, they're seriously gonna give it to this giant bag of flour and fucking Zoe Stark? Like why? Like why? Jesus Christ. So Zoe Stark wins. And now she's going to face Mandy Rose, which I guess it's going to eventually happen. It's going to be Nikita and Mandy whenever that happens, but it's just like, I don't know. I was just mad. I was mad that Zoe won because it's just like she's a good wrestler. She's a good hand. That's the best way to put it.
She's athletic as the day is long, and that woman's got guns and abs like you wouldn't believe, but
bland as fuck.
She's bland and very boring. There's no dimension to her besides, hey, look at me. I'm a strong woman that likes to flex, and I can do springboard moonsaults and all this.
So she's a Dana Brooke that can wrestle.
Yeah, she's a Dana Brooke that can wrestle.
That's interesting.
I would argue that Dana Brooke has more charisma than her.
Ooh, that's a hot.
At least Dana Brooke.
You're bold.
At least Dana Brooke has at least she's vocal. You know what I'm saying? At least
she's like muscle strong, kissing right bicep, kissing left bicep.
I'm the 24/7 champion. Yeah.
Like at least Dana Brooke has look at me type vibes to her, and that makes you kind of want to like Dana Brooke's not my cup of tea, but like personally, but I mean, I like she knows how to draw attention to herself. Zoe Stark, I think, is just a boring chick. She strikes me as somebody that's boring, and apparently I'm not the only one. Look at those vignettes with Io Shirai.
It was terrible.
It's great.
Yeah,
Shirai just looking at her like, get out of my face, woman.
she's I mean, like she's a good wrestler. I think she's a good wrestler, but yeah, to your point, she's very bland. But I'm more upset about the QR code, man. I was so, I mean, I won't say I was excited, but I was so intrigued by the QR code, right? And this build, and I was like, okay, what is this? What's going on? Only for it to be Zoe Stark. I'm like, it really deflated me, right? Yes. I was talking in my I have a Twitter chat with some wrestling buddies of mine, right? Mm-hmm. And I put in the chat last night. I was like, they used Zoe Stark for the QR code. I was mad because I thought they were really building up to something bigger than that, right?
Yeah, exactly. And she's not that type of person to be excited for like that.
Yeah,
she's not on that level.
Yeah, not on that level. They could have just done simple vignettes, or this is how I would have brought back Zoe Stark. I would have showed her like doing rehab and training or something like that, and have her be like, you know what, and have her do an interview like, you know what, I'm about 85% ready, and I think I should be back, a little bit after the summer. You know what I mean? I'm probably looking around September where I'll be coming back or whatever the case may be, right? Then you bring her back as a surprise. Oh, what? I thought she was going to be coming back in September, and it will mean more because of the fact that she gave that notion out there that she's not going to be coming back until September, and she comes as a surprise, right? I think that could have worked better. It's not a perfect scenario, right? But I think that could have worked better outside of just, you build this up as with the QR code, right? And just, God, man, it just flatlined immediately when Wade Barrett was like, oh, I think that's what the QR code is for. I was like, oh, fuck off. That's all I was thinking. Just fuck right off.
Like,
exactly.
I mean, this kind of segues into the next topic. Like, I'm not a fan of them doing these, like, mysterious vignettes for somebody coming in, then you find out it's somebody that already works for the company. Like, i.e., you look at the mysterious promos that have been showing on Raw, where
we know it's Edge.
Yeah, and it's just like everybody, like, it's clear as day. You already know who it is. Like, it shows you his past opponents. It shows you the Dudley Boys glasses, the Hardy Boys, arm bands, Kurt Angle's fucking gold medal. It's like, okay, that's Edge, and people are
Seth Rollins.
and people are still saying Bray Wyatt. And it's like, no, you dumb fuck, that's fucking Edge.
Well, when I first saw the promo at Money in the Bank, I was like, is this Bray? Is this Bray? That was like, that I sat and think about, I was like, oh, what's with Kurt Angle's gold medal? What's with the flannel shirt? And I sat there and think about it, I was like, it's Edge. You know what I mean? And there was like a 10-minute, right after the promo came. So yeah, no, you're spot on. I don't know why people think it will still be Bray Wyatt at this point.
It's just like, and like for what it's worth.
Look at this though. Hey, look at this though. It could be a double meaning promo too.
Well, I was gonna say, like, go ahead.
The Wyatts feuded with the Dudley Boys. The Fiend attacked Kurt Angle. The Fiend had problems with Seth Rollins. They didn't start showing current wrestlers in these promos until the other day.
Well, they also showed a Texas license plate that said Latino Heat.
That's what I'm saying. These promos might have double meaning. They could be for Edge, and they could be for somebody else too.
Bray Wyatt took a picture with Eddie Guerrero when he was 13.
Or it's probably Sasha Banks, because ever since she was a little girl, she liked Eddie Guerrero.
There you go. They're coming back as a trio, people.
But for what it's worth, Edge will be coming back as a newer, I guess, a character, or new-ish. Like, he'll come back as apparently like his character on the Brood.
Yeah.
Which
he's gonna be a raver vigilante type guy.
Which I think would
from the crowd.
Which I think would be pretty cool. I mean, I'm all for that.
Is Edge a little too old to be a raging raver vigilante at this point in his years?
I don't know.
John Wick.
John Wick. Or he could be like, I don't know, he could be like the Batman of WWE.
Oh, good lord. I mean,
I saw one thing on Twitter, right? Someone was saying that, oh god, it's Benoit coming back from the dead.
Good lord.
Yeah, I don't know. I just couldn't help but laugh at that.
Can you imagine Vince just in I don't give a fuck mode? Stephanie,
sorry.
From now on, we're gonna say Benoit. Starting now.
He already. I got so many sick Benoit jokes. I'm not gonna go into them right now, but it's.
That'd be so funny. Oh my god, I just thought of the perfect one. Have Benoit's music play, and then have Wade Barrett come out. I'm afraid you got some bad news.
Oh, good lord.
Whatever happened to that movie he was supposed to be about Benoit Crossface?
Well, what happened was that the family owns the rights to the story. And the director wanted to show a scene where it shows the murders. Like the actual murders. And the family said, no, we're not going to do that. So the director just decided.
Yeah, there's no need to do that, Darren. Fucking the guy that did the fucking wrestler, he was the one that was supposed to have directed it. Come on, there was no need for that.
No, I don't think it was him. I don't.
It was gonna be some woman. I thought.
Right.
I thought it was gonna be Darren Aronofsky. I thought he was gonna be the one that does it.
And then I
think it was some woman that was supposed to direct Crossface.
Yeah, David Benoit talked about it on Chris Van Fleet. Yeah, he said, he was like, no, we're not doing that. And the director just decided to pull out and just went, well, I'm not going to direct that. So, was just like, yeah, how do you think that was going to go with that family? It's like, we're going to show a scene where your whole family's going to get killed again. How do you feel about that? How's about you go fuck yourself? No.
And
go ahead.
I was gonna say David Benoit. He just gets a lot of shit.
Poor guy though. Like every time I hear that guy talk, it sounds like it hurts for him to talk.
Yeah.
Like just poor dude. Just I don't know. The whole conversation about Benoit is just something I really don't like talking about that much anymore. Like, pun intended, it should be a dead and buried type of issue.
Yeah.
It's me and RJ talked about the whole thing with Jordan. I was going to call it Jordan Sparks. Jordan Grace, where she had mentioned, just for no reason, Benoit couldn't hang with today's talent because of, blah, blah, blah. It's like, really?
Which is stupid because 90% of the wrestlers nowadays use his fucking moves. Get the fuck out of here.
No.
Which her reasoning was that he wouldn't remember, and it's like, that basically exposes today's talent, because today's talent has to choreograph their match. You know, Benoit in his prime, or Angle in his prime, Eddie in his prime. You know, they just had to go out there and have the match.
Nah, yeah, these guys went out here doing a fucking tango, doing a fucking Spanish fly, you know, off the goddamn top rope, both land on their feet and look like they about to fucking kiss and dance. Fuck out of here.
Shit, it'd be like the Royal Rumble 05 when they fucking just beat the shit out of Daniel Puder. It'd be just like that. But, yeah, Raw was hot and cold. I mean, there really wasn't much to talk about. Well, in my opinion, that was really worth talking about. The closing segment was Logan Paul coming in from Miz TV. I'm still iffy about him being a face because I think he works better as a heel. You know, I said I said in a tweet, it looks like he belongs in the ring because he gets wrestling, because, you know, he's an athlete. I mean, I was ready to shit all over him when he had his Mania match, and then I was pleasantly surprised by how good he was. And now he was able to get, you know, wrestling psychology. I mean, shit, in his promo, he referred to wrestling as a sport. Like, I just think of it like, how is it that guys like McAfee and Logan Paul, they understand and respect wrestling better than even the current guys in wrestling? Like, it's crazy to think about when an outsider understands wrestling better. Again,
because they're outsider, they weren't brought in through the WWE system. The WWE system is taught to not necessarily hate wrestling, but like not necessarily have the traditions of professional wrestling.
Right, and you know, to Logan's credit, Logan had said straight up, "I came here and busted my ass and I trained. I put in the work," and he did. You know, Pat McAfee bought a fucking house in North Carolina and went in a barn with Rip Rogers and learned how to wrestle. You know, Bad Bunny learned how to wrestle. He put in the work, and he had one of the better matches on Mania that year. And it's just, yeah, a lot of outsiders, like you said, they understand wrestling a lot better because they have it in their head of like, I need wrestling people to show me how wrestling works. And they respect wrestling a lot better. And to Logan's credit, he gets wrestling. He understands it. You know, like at Mania this year, he did the Eddie shimmy. And then he did the frog splash, and I just went, "You motherfucker." Like, I just went, "You motherfucker," but damn, that was good. Like, he even did a frog splash almost as good as Eddie. Like how is that possible? But he was on Miz TV, he cut a promo. The promo was hot and cold. I mean, he was botching a few things when he was talking, but wasn't terrible. I mean, he has some. He's good at enunciating. Like, he kind of promo. When he talks like he's in a room full of 10,000 people, and not in a room full of 10 people, which is good. It's not like a Ronda Rousey where she can't cut a promo in front of 10,000 people. So
she can't cut a fucking promo.
Motherfucking out loud mud show. But I'm interested to see what Logan Paul does, but personally, I think he's better as a heel. That's just my opinion. But
yeah.
What do you think about? Go ahead.
I'm with you on that. He should be a heel. He should be a heel. I mean, in a world where you're missing mega heels that want to be hated and not wink and nod at the damn crowd, you need heels, and I think Logan Paul is that. He's definitely that. And hopefully, this whole thing with the Miz can be wrapped into something. But who's the sucker babyface that has to get involved in order for that to happen? I have no idea. But maybe this can turn out to get a couple of people over if they can play the cards right, because I think he should be a heel.
And also, not for nothing, it brings more eyes and eyes to the product. Go ahead, Justin.
No, I was just saying that he's like a babyface. I mean, AJ Styles. AJ Styles is not doing anything for SummerSlam, so yeah, he needs to be on the show, because SummerSlam or a big show without AJ Styles, that's kind of criminal.
Right, AJ would be a perfect opponent for Logan. You make Logan a heel, bring in a babyface like AJ. It's like he's gonna make Logan look like $1 million.
Yeah,
he is.
You know what I mean? Like that's a perfect way for a heel. Like, Logan can do the whole, I became a millionaire before I was even 30. What have you done, AJ? You had to scratch and claw in the indies with your little hillbilly buddies and some outlaw, barn back in Georgia. Well, I was making more money than you ever did. Like, he can do that. Like, that sounds a lot better coming from him than Austin Theory. You know what I mean?
Make more money than God.
I have the best podcast. I have the biggest podcast in the world. I went toe-to-toe with Floyd Money Mayweather. What have you done, AJ? Huh? What have you...
You ain't done shit because you ain't shit.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, my God. Especially if they go on TV 14, he gets his shit all he wants now.
But
I think things like we're talking about TV 14 earlier. I think like for people like Logan Paul, Pat McAfee, like people who like really needed to enhance the product, be guys like that. You know what I mean? That will really make things more believable.
Yeah, it definitely could help a lot of people. It could like enhance the characters and give them more of an edge. It could give, Pat already has an edge, but it can just like tweak it a little bit. And again, someone like Logan, someone like, Roman doesn't really need it because Roman's already Roman. Brock does whatever the fuck he wants. So it could definitely benefit a lot of people, but only time will tell. But yeah, the rest of Raw wasn't really all that amazing. I mean, what'd you guys think about Raw, if you did watch it?
Sucked.
There you go.
I mean, it's bad. WWE TV, for the most part, is bad. There's some good stuff sometimes on there, right? But their pay-per-views, they usually are pretty damn good. They cannot build a show for crap. And usually I walk away from pay-per-views like, you know what? That wasn't a bad show. That wasn't a bad show at all. So, but yeah, but Raw last night sucked. SmackDown last week was terrible. No.
Since we're on the topic of Logan Paul, his brother Jake Paul is interested in joining WWE.
He'll be a mega heel.
Oh,
yeah. Apparently, WWE reached out to him, Conor McGregor, and
Daniel Cormier, another guy.
I didn't hear about Cormier, but I definitely heard about Conor. They reached out to Conor McGregor and Jake Paul and Tyson Fury for future appearances. And look, hey, that could be another way to get Logan to be a heel. And look, I would not be against that whatsoever. Jake and Logan
I will
in
put them
WWE.
as a tag team and have them win the tag team titles. God.
Fuck
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Yes.
The Heat?
Oh my God. That would probably get them in a main event. A pay-per-view. If they do it right. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And
And they look legit. They are fucking athletes and they can beat the shit out of people. Like that. Oh my God. I'm actually like getting chills just thinking about them. Like that would they would get so much heel heat. And that's so missing in WWE.
Yeah. 100%.
But last bit of news before we get into questions. John Cena and his wife Shay, whose name I can't really pronounce even though I'm Iranian, got married for a second time. Cena and Shay were actually married for the first time on August 12, 2020 in Tampa, but it was a small private ceremony due to the pandemic. The wedding on Friday was much bigger with a lot of family and friends in attendance. And, his wife is actually she works for Sonatype, an enterprise software company. So she's an engineer, so good for John. Good for John on that one. Congratulations to John for tying the knot for the second time.
Yeah. You can definitely show commitment.
Yeah, so, alright, so questions. Alright, so Sean Kenter. Thanks to Sean Kenter, we now have a much easier and more simple way to do questions. There's a questions tab. And we have quite a few, so let's get to these, shall we? So the first question of the night goes to Anna. Anna, where are you at?
Anna, Banna, Babana, the gay banana.
Pretty sure Anna's somewhere. So Anna has a few questions. Let me get to the first one. Could Kurt Angle be considered the GOAT? He could definitely wrestle, talk, be funny and serious, or is his legacy tarnished by his addiction to opioids, by his DUIs, jobbing to Happy Corbin? I don't think so, because, like, every other legend has done stupid shit. I mean, every other legend has done, shockingly enough, drugs in their career, so... I mean, I like Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels was known as one of the biggest fucking, like, pillheads, back in the day. He did coke, I'm pretty sure. So, does it diminish their GOAT status? Not really. As like, cruel as this sounds, like, I need them to just go out there and have a good match. When it starts affecting their work rate, then that becomes a problem. So, Kurt Angle, is he the GOAT? In my opinion, he's definitely in my top 3. If we're talking about, like, pure mat wrestling, technical wrestling, you can definitely make the case that Kurt Angle might be the GOAT. What do you guys think?
I think that, you want to define, like, what do you define as GOAT, right? Like, for me, it's the total package. So it's the in-ring ability, it's the promo work, it's all of that, right? Presentation. For my definition, I would not put him as a GOAT. But if we're talking about, to your point, Drew, in ring, yeah, sure. You know what I mean? Because he's just God, man. He was so good in his prime, man. 2006 to 2010, Kurt Angle, especially when he had that when he had that half beard and his balding head in TNA. Oh god, that was like the best one. Perk Angle was the best.
Perk Angle.
Perk on the perk, hey. Yeah, Kurt Angle was he was dummy crazy back around that time. Like he was bananas, man. That fucking he did that dive on Abyss.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that shit was. I was like, what the hell, Kurt Angle? Kurt Angle's a madman. You know what? I would consider Kurt Angle a GOAT because of his quick adaptability to the business, to wrestling itself, and the performances that he put on, man. His work, and not only just that, but his ability to be a comedy character and then be also serious while still the fans never really complained about him being too much of a joke. You know what I'm saying? Like he was able to turn it off and on when need be, and yeah, like he was able to go until he couldn't go anymore. And once he realized that it was time to go, it was time to go. And I respect him for that. Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy and Ric Flair need to take notes.
All right. Next question. This is kind of Anna's got some interesting questions. Are Thanos and Iron Man secretly gay lovers? Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll miss me on that one. I don't know. I'll say no.
Next one. Let's see. Obliteron, Thanos, the Marvel Godhead, Darkseid, and Apocalypse in a 5-for-all death match. Who is the last one standing? Let's see. Obliteron, Thanos, the Marvel Godhead, Darkseid, and Apocalypse.
I only know 3 of those. Darkseid, Apocalypse, and Thanos, of course. So I'm gonna go Thanos.
I'll go with Darkseid. What about you, RJ?
Yeah, Darkseid.
All right, next question. Who do you see as the next real breakout star in AEW? I mean, I thought it was Wardlow, but they decided to give him a 15-minute competitive match with the company mascot, so I don't know anymore.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be Powerhouse Hobbs, but he can't win the match to save his fucking life.
Oh, man. I mean...
That's what pisses me off about AEW the most. It's like they have these great guys that have never been on WWE television before that deserve to be showcased just a little bit more. But in pushing like ex-WWE guys and these guys that have no potential. as far as like being a star goes. Like Wheeler Yuta gets more TV time than Ricky Starks. That's a problem to me, man. That's a problem. You know, and who else? Daniel Garcia. You know, I know he's this great wrestler on the indies and everybody loves him. But this guy gets more TV time than fucking who else? Who's struggling to get TV time? Meanwhile, this FTR couldn't even get TV time. Meanwhile, this guy was on television every week. Come on, man! Like it's weird to me. But
like this is pretty fucked up. So like Cornette listened to the most recent episode, and he talked about the match with Wardlow and Orange Cassidy. Cornette, like literally on air. Well, Brian Last bleeped it out, but like Cornette actually gave out Vince McMahon's phone number on air, but Brian Last had to bleep it out. He gave out Vince McMahon, Bruce Pritchard, and John Laurinaitis' phone numbers on air, and he was like telling Brian Last, "You might have to bleep this out, but call these numbers and hopefully they answer because you're fucked." And it's just like, I don't know, like. And for a guy like Wardlow, it's just I don't see how you didn't have the wherewithal to be like, maybe this is a bad idea.
Yeah, he's better as the silent heel, monster, big, heavy, whatever you want to call him. But to the question, to answer it, I mean, I would say MJF, but I don't think he's long for AEW. I really think he's really looking to go to WWE, right? There's other guys I can go through, right? But if I had to pick one, I really like Jungle Boy. I like Jungle Boy just because of the fact that he's not going to be like the major star per se. He's not going to be the guy that you're going to put on the talk shows and things of that nature, right? But to me, he's very likable. He's a good wrestler, right? He does need a little bit more charisma, right? And a little bit more of the promo. Yeah. I think he will be popular enough with that crowd, right? I'm thinking from a major AEW fan standpoint. I think that he can be a guy down the line, not by the end of this year or the end of next year, but a couple years down the line, can be somebody that can challenge for the AEW World Title. Are they going to do it? Who knows, right? I mean, by 2025, Seth Rollins may be challenging for the AEW World Title. I don't know.
Oh, good Lord.
You know what I mean? But, you know what I mean? But, yeah, but if I'm thinking about homegrown talent, saying Jungle Boy. I like Orange Cassidy, but I don't see him as a world champion, right? Because he's more of a comedy character. Darby Allin is... man, he's gonna be dead by the time he's 2 years from now. Because
I see it every week.
He's killing himself in the ring. Same thing with Sammy Guevara, right?
Well, Darby's not dead, but his momentum is dead. But go ahead.
Yeah, his momentum's dead. Yeah, his momentum's dead, right? You know what? -1 has more star power right now than Darby Allin. So.
Oh God,
that's a fucking shame. Oh my God.
Yeah, but with the current roster, the way that's constructed. If I'm not going with like a Adam Cole or anybody like that, I'm gonna say Jungle Boy.
All right. I mean, I like Jungle Boy too. I think eventually he'll need to evolve as a character. Like
100%.
One thing, maybe getting a haircut. Again, he needs I think if he had a personality, he'll be just fine. Like, because he's a good wrestler, and I like him. I like watching him. But he has the personality of a dead dog. So eventually he's going to need to like improve. I mean, I'm just being honest. And like, I don't want to say that because I don't want to be mean. Like, his dead father has more charisma than him.
Oh, God. Oh. Jesus, man.
And I like Luke Perry. Come on. I'm saying nice things. But, oh, God. I've lost this. I've lost the show. But I like Jungle Boy. I agree with you. I like Jungle Boy. He's more of a personality, though. Next question from Anna. What are your thoughts on mayonnaise?
What?
I'll put it on my sandwich. I like spicy mayonnaise.
I It sucks.
Yeah, I'm not a mayonnaise
I
person.
don't like mayonnaise.
All right. I mean, I like spicy mayonnaise. I'll put it on my sandwich, but that's about it. Thank you, Anna. Next is Michael Corvin, the formerly known CM Goof. And speaking of Michael Corvin, the WNC reunion show is live right now, so look for that. We are competing with them, so the Wednesday Night Wars are back. Michael Corvin, his first question, his first of many questions, Justin. Just so you know, Michael Corvin likes to ask quite a few questions, so...
Oh, that's cool. I'm good with that.
Be prepared. So the first question, how can we respect wrestlers of today as much as we respect wrestlers from the past if they aren't creating illusion now, aren't at risk of being attacked by the public now, and aren't enticing people to buy tickets to shows like they used to? Should we pretend they're as good out of politeness? I mean, he makes a good point because, you know, we've said this before. Kayfabe is dead. You know, I think the only guys who really believe in kayfabe nowadays are, you know, MJF, Roman sometimes, and then, you know, Pat. You know, Pat McAfee wore a neck brace to sell the fact that he was injured. You know, he wore it at a UFC event while he was sitting with Triple H and Stephanie and Vince.
And it wasn't even on television either.
Right. And it's just, should we respect him? Like, depends on the person, because, like, going back to the whole modern wrestling conversation, it's just, what's the thing that, you know, Rip Rogers said in a tweet where, you know, modern wrestling nowadays is, you know, dive, or whatever, and then, you know, go on Twitter and talk about how you love everybody and you want to be everyone's best friend. Like, nobody...
No.
You know, nobody nowadays wants to be a heel. Like, they want to be a cool heel. And I hate cool heels. I don't
Winky
like cool...
naughty baby face, or winky naughty heels. Kissing at the camera and shit. Young Bucks.
Like, MJF doesn't want to be a cool heel. MJF wants to be a heel. You know, Roman doesn't want to... Roman's kind of a cool heel, but he basically just shows that he's kind of a dick in real life, so that's how it works for him so well. So...
Acknowledge me.
I'm gonna smash him.
Stack him, smash him, stack him.
I mean,
he's a good heel, like Roman, MJF, and Richard Holiday from MLW. Like, those are guys that really want the heat. You know, those are three guys off the top of my head that really want the heat.
Like, to me, with the question itself in hand, like, you can still have kayfabe. Just people are just not committed to it. You know what I mean? They're not like, if I was in the wrestling business, like, if I was a heel, I'm not signing your fucking autograph at the airport. Why? Why would I do that? I mean, I want to keep this illusion alive that I am a heel, right? I mean, or that I am a despicable son of a bitch. Same thing with baby faces, right? You know what I mean? If you see me at an airport, you know, 3:30 in the morning, I'm gonna have to go in babyface mode and be like, oh, you know, no, it's okay. I can sign your autograph for you, man. You know what I mean? Like, you know what? You know, you only get these times so many times in life, you know, to meet somebody like myself, whatever, right? And be a babyface. So I mean, you know, with the question at hand, right? Like, we should always respect wrestlers overall, right? It just with, as far as, you know, the believability behind it, right? I mean, there's a lot of opportunity out there, but, you know, everyone wants to be friends. And a quick little funny story. I went to a wrestling show 2 weeks ago here in San Antonio, and Chase Owens was there. Who else was there? Chase Owens, PCO was there. Shane Taylor was there, right? And I saw Shane Taylor, you know, when I went in, paid my ticket, I was sitting front row. He was in the ring going over spots with his opponent. I just right in front of us. And I'm like, what are we doing? Like, I was like, what are we doing? Like, this is the main event of the show, and you guys are, like, going over spots And like, I was like, man, like, I was like, kayfabe's dead, man. Like, I say, if you do that, do it back there. Like, do it in the back, do it at gorilla position, wherever you want to do it, right? Just don't do it in front of all of us, right? Yeah. And there was an intermission too as well. Just saw, one of the matches, there was a tag team title match. I forgot who it was. It doesn't really matter because they're local guys. But at the end, they were like right next to each other at the merchandise booth. Like, come on, like, if I was running that promotion, right? Okay, heels, this is your table. Faces, this is your table, right? Still interact with each other and like, you know what I mean? Like, like try not to attack each other, but like still like, banter with each other or something. So yeah, kayfabe is dead, right? Because of stuff like that, and it's like, oh god, it just breaks my heart.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Why does tapioca pudding exist? Who the fuck actually eats that shit?
I don't know what the fuck that is. I've never had it before in my life, so I can't speak on it.
My name is just like that. I'm 75 years young and I love my tapioca pudding. No, it sucks. It's terrible.
I think it's used as like a laxative. I think, or maybe maybe it's the only thing that like maybe older people that don't really have a lot of teeth can eat, or babies. I don't fucking know. I don't eat that shit, so I can't speak on it. Third question. Favorite flavor of ice cream?
I'm simple, man. I like cookies and cream, man. I'm simple.
Same. RJ?
My favorite flavor of ice cream is Fred's Brownie.
Ooh.
Ben and Jerry's.
Nice.
Very nice.
Hadn't had that in a while, but yeah, it's good.
Next question. Why do you think Kevin Castle hasn't attempted to get himself officially sponsored by Yoo-Hoo Chocolate Milk? I don't know. I don't know what Kevin Castle thinks. What about you?
You would think you would think he would have an endorsement by them as much as he's brought them up over the years. I remember when I first heard one of the whole podcasts and he brought it up, I was like, "What are you? Yoo-Hoo's still in business?"
Yeah, I'm not too sure why. Yeah, so, but yeah.
Next one. RJ, I think this is for me and you. That Walmart twerking contest was rigged. Change my mind or don't. I'm not your dad.
Yeah, you damn right it was rigged.
So who won the Walmart twerking contest, RJ?
I have no idea. Who won it?
You were in charge of it. How do you not know? It was you and Arn Anderson. Somebody has to know.
But Arn's got all the answers. I left. I left when it was still going on.
Well, he was holding the hose.
He was holding the hose, spraying down the hose.
So, like, all right, Arn, I gotta head out. You good? I got this, RJ. This isn't my first rodeo.
Rodeo.
Me and RJ happen to love Arn Anderson on the show, Justin. So
okay.
I love Arn Anderson. Next question. Erase one match from history. We LC from Extreme Rules 2014, or Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn at WrestleMania 38. Get rid of WLC. I like Johnny Knoxville and Sami Zayn. So
yeah, WLC.
Yeah, WLC definitely. But Johnny Knoxville and Sami Zayn, that was a spectacle, man. Sorry, you need one of those. Like, if you can sit through Orange Cassidy and all these other guys doing, whatever they do, then you can sit through this. I'm sorry. When people were shitting on that match, I was defending it. Because I'm like, if you can watch Kenny Omega wrestle a blow-up doll and any of the other stuff and be like, oh, this is entertaining, then you can sit through and watch Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville do stupid shit in the ring. I equated it to the same thing. So that's just the way I feel.
Justin?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, yeah, if you can sit through, and I love Orange Cassidy, by the way, but if you can sit through that, you can sit through, Unfortunately, he's not wrestling anymore. But Joey Ryan doing a penis slam. You know what I mean? You can sit through that.
Ugh. He got fired from Disney World, so.
Yeah, for him.
It's like, all right, next question, and this is a picture. So I think head over to the questions tab and just click on the picture. FMK News Sports Anchor Edition, and I need to open this.
Here we go.
Hold up. I have. So what the fuck am I looking at? All right, so what the fuck's her name? Charlie Arnold, who was in WWE. She was an announcer. Tia Ewing, who's on Fox 32 News in Chicago, and Yannette Garcia, who's a weather girl in Mexico.
Yannette Garcia by far. I'm following her.
I'm marrying Charlie. Effing Yannette Garcia, and I'm killing Tia Ewing.
I'm marrying Yannette, and I'm fucking Charlie and killing the other chick. No, the other chick. So.
Yeah, I'm with Justin on that. Same order.
All right. Next question. What about me? What about Raven? What about Raven?
Raven could have had a good career for himself if he laid off the,
And also suing the company. But, whatever. Next question. Do you still believe?
Of course I believe!
I love Bo Dallas.
Yeah, that was...
Bo Dallas is great.
Next question. Maurice Bear, who's in the chat. Maurice Bear once claimed he was a polar bear. How can that be? Polar bears aren't Canadian and can't read or type either. Can they? Please help us, Drew B1 Kenobi. You're our only hope. Next question.
I don't know I can comment on that one.
If your election campaign is successful and you are officially sworn in as President of the United States, how will you and VP Joey Numbers combat the growing furry crisis in Japanese animation menace that are threatening our nation today, specifically the pro wrestling business fandom portion of the nation? Is Japan to blame for all of this?
I'm not saying nothing.
Yeah.
Mike, I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that topic at all. that sounds more like a you problem.
Gaiaka is not going to be appearing on my screen, okay? On my computer screen or on my phone. So no, we're good, man.
He has 3 more questions. Netflix may be in danger of going out of business soon. How do you think the last blockbuster and the internet will react if this happens? I mean, I don't know if you guys ever watched that last Blockbuster documentary, but like, apparently Blockbuster had a chance to buy Netflix, and they laughed they laughed the Netflix guy out of the building.
It was like in '98 or something like that. It was early on.
Right. When Netflix started that early? I thought it started like in the mid 2000s.
It was early. Because they just did subscription as far as like sending DVDs out. So, yeah, they started in I think like 1997. I want to say Netflix did. Oh, you can Google it and correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, they start early.
1997.
Yeah, so they start early, and I'm such a nerd. I watch this guy called Company Man on YouTube, and he has a Blockbuster video, and he also has a Netflix video too as well. And he mentions about like the buyout. But I think the buyout was probably like in the early 2000s. I think right before they became big.
Huh. How will the last Blockbuster react when this happens? I mean, I would think they would have maybe like a little chuckle, but and then the internet. Oh, there's a lot of streaming. I mean, there's a lot of streaming that's become bigger than Netflix because you got Prime. Prime's putting out good shit like The Boys and Invincible, and their own movies. Hulu, same thing. HBO Max, I think, is like the pinnacle of streaming in my opinion. So, Netflix is kind of like Netflix had their run. They were the top guy for a few years for a while, but now they're just like they're the mid Carter at best. All they have.
No, let me do it, Drew. They ain't shit.
Ain't shit.
I think Netflix, man, like it happens. It just happens when it comes to technology and business things of that nature. But the only reason why Netflix is still operational at this point is because they're exclusives. If they didn't have their exclusives, they would have been gone a long time ago.
They lost over 1 million subscribers despite Stranger Things season 4, I guess, bringing in more people. But
yeah,
I mean, it also doesn't help that they keep raising their prices for the most stupidest of reasons. It's their most recent reason is like, if you're using Netflix outside of your home address, then we're gonna start charging you $1 more. Like, oh, go fuck yourself.
They're
fuck yourself.
Yeah, they need I don't know. At this point, I don't know what they can do to really say, because you have all these different apps now. To your point, HBO Plus, you got CBS and Showtime and all, and Hulu and all. You got everything now, to where it's like, I don't really need Netflix. And minus that, they keep removing crap and adding crap back on there, where it's like, hey, all I want to do is I just want to watch Terminator 2 Judgment Day. And it's like, okay, you remove Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Like, what the hell?
Seen this one movie on Netflix. I didn't see it, but it was like on an advertising thing. And it was this display for this movie called The Big Ass Spider, and that was about enough for me.
Big ass spider.
I woke up and saw that shit. I said, "What the fuck?"
The big ass spider.
Shit I've ever seen. The big ass spider on my television screen. Oh man, I was like, "Oh fuck no, bro, no way, man."
All right. Next question. What is our favorite kind of donut?
Oh man. I will say.
God damn it.
I will say, man, I'm a simple guy, man. Just like the ice cream. Just give me a Krispy Kreme glaze or strawberry frosting.
Yeah, I like glazed and chocolate with sprinkles. So there you go.
I like a glazed donut, but not.
Oh, come on, RJ.
Not the way Logan be talking about it.
Oh my god,
I like it glazed.
Logan ruined glazed donuts for me.
Lord.
So just I work with this girl named Logan, right? Like,
okay.
Me and her have been friends for like almost 20 years now. Ever since I moved to South Carolina, and we practically grew up together through school and whatnot. And now we work together as adults. And she works at the bakery at Walmart, and she ruined fucking donuts for me, man. Just like, I'm like, I can't even look at donuts the same anymore, man.
Jesus.
Donkulous. I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, I know, man. Shit.
Last question from Michael Corvin. Top 3 greatest asses in wrestling today. Nikita Lyons cannot be named.
Mm-hmm. That's easy.
Drew? For me, it's
right.
Bailey's my number one. She's my number one. So Bailey. Gigi, number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3. Man. I'm trying to think of a really nice ass. That's not Nikita Lyons. I'm going to say Mandy. Those are my top 3.
Solid 3. Me? I would, okay, so I'm not gonna name Bailey. She's like 1A or like 2A, but I'm not gonna name her though, so we just get some variety in here. I am gonna go with Gigi though, because you just can't ignore that. There's no way you can.
No, you can't.
Anna J. EW.
Right.
And I'm gonna give you guys a sleeper. You guys probably need to go look. Sienna Allison K.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
AK-47 is packing some fire.
All right.
Gee, Lord, yep.
Yeah,
She's definitely underrated. I will say that much.
With me, of course, Gigi. Like you said, that's just undeniable. You can't deny that.
Yeah.
Gigi. Yeah, I'm not gonna use Bailey. Bailey would be my go-to. Thunder Rosa is packing cushion back there too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, good grief! I seen that her and Tony Storm backstage. And I'm just like, God damn, man.
As long as she's facing away from the camera, we're good.
definitely. So yeah, Gigi.
I love her.
Thunder
No, I'm
Rosa.
kidding. I love her.
Who else? I'm trying to think here. The new sexy star from AAA. Oh my God. Oof. Y'all need to do some research. If y'all don't know the new sexy star over at AAA.
I think I've seen her. I think I know what you're talking about.
Somebody post a photo in the chat, please.
Goodness. That girl is packing wagon, baby.
Who's the new girl that they just signed, the MMA girl for NXT?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's like you can't count her. That's like she's like on the kills level. You can't even. That's not even fair.
Oh my goodness.
Mm.
Roman Reigns girl.
I'm smash that.
She needs insurance for her ass, like literally, like that's a whole nother vehicle she has.
If Nikita gets released, her ass is gonna stay. But thank you, Michael Corvin, for the questions. Anna has another question. How many licks does it take to get through the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? Jesus Christ, RJ.
That's what I just put in the chat. Good Lord.
How many licks? How many licks does it take? Ooh.
3? Yeah, that's all I've taught my life. The owl.
A 1, a 2, a 3.
A 3?
A 3.
3. It's always been 3.
Jesus Christ. So much. We need Ruben here. Ruben, the bakery is open, if you're listening.
The bakery is open.
The bakery is open, and we got some baked goods up in here. Thank you, Anna. Maurice Bear, next question. Has the next question. He has 4. The first one is, which conventions have you went to before the pandemic nuked them briefly? Well, I mean, they just brought back conventions. But, yeah, just like Comic-Con. Big Texas Comic-Con, which is... Packs out. Let's see, there's going to be a Comic-Con next Saturday. I'm trying to remember what it was called, but Jesus Christ. RJ, stop distracting me.
Good.
It's like Alamo Comic-Con, like Hogan's supposed to be here and, a few other people.
Am I allowed to still post a question? I mean, Eddie, if you want to post a question, go right ahead. But yeah, RJ, what about, you ever been to a con before?
Yeah, I've been to a con. This was what? I'm trying to think. This was maybe 2013. It was a small little convention. It was nothing too crazy, and that's where I got the gray Marvel shirt from. I was hanging out with this girl. She was sick, and we went to one of the little local Comic Cons they had, and she bought me the Marvel T-shirt, and she passed I would say maybe 3 years later. And so I keep that shirt in memory of her. So yeah, no, I've definitely been to one. I want to go to some of the bigger ones, obviously, like a Comic Con, San Diego, and I want to go to Ranger Con too. Like I want to go to a lot of the bigger ones, but yeah, I've been to something local.
You know what con you shouldn't go to?
Which one?
Ku Klux.
Oh, good Lord.
Ku Klux Con.
Sorry.
Oh God. Next question. Which unsolved mystery would you like to solve? Jimmy Hoffa or Amelia Earhart? Didn't Jimmy Hoffa already get solved?
I don't know.
I could have sworn his was already solved.
I would say Hoffa.
Yeah, I'll go with Hoffa. RJ.
Can you repeat the question?
Which unsolved mystery would you like to solve? Jimmy Hoffa or Amelia Earhart?
Hoffa. Because wasn't Amelia Earhart, wasn't that like figured out?
I don't know. I could have sworn Hoffa's was already figured out. Like, didn't someone already like admit that they killed him or something? I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna go with Hoffa. Next question, and Justin, I think this is a question for me and you. What is the most boring place in Texas to be around?
Oh, good lord.
Anywhere in between the major cities. So if you're like going I-35 north or south, or I-10 east or west, it's in between the major cities, just nothing but farmland and just wilderness. That's your answer.
All right, I would say Corpus. Like, I mean, other than the beach, there really isn't much to Corpus, and there's sand everywhere. Like, it's an old city. Like, there's really not much to it, to be honest. Last question. Which was the worst women's match in wrestling? Jackie Gaeta or Sharmell versus Jenny Maraska?
Jenna Maraska and versus Sharmell. If I had to pick between those two.
Bro, those slaps alone, man.
Bollocks.
Yeah, Jackie Gaeta, nice to look at, not very good in the ring. She was Dana Brooke before Dana Brooke.
Oh, come on now.
A botch.
Jackie Gaeta looked way better than Dana Brooke. Jesus.
Because of her, fucking Daphne couldn't get a job because Daphne couldn't carry that bag of flour.
Well, damn it, Daphne. I love
now, one match that was pretty bad, and it, for some reason, I remember it. I don't know why. We're kind of up on an anniversary for it, but it's Ari versus Tori at SummerSlam '99. That match sucked.
Oh God.
What about that? What about that barn burner of Melina versus Alicia Fox? You don't remember that? You don't remember that amazing match?
Don't you dare slander my queen Melina.
That 5-star classic that the great Cameron liked.
Remember Sable versus Tori? I think it was Great American Bash.
Oh God.
Oh God. Ooh.
Yeah. I think I still have that DVD.
Yeah, you do, Drew.
I do.
You got the behind the scenes bikini shoot they did for that, right?
I got the behind the something. Thank you, Maurice Bear. Lightning 116 has a question. It's a very interesting question. Which is more terrifying if you were a common criminal or supervillain in a comic? Batman smiling or Spider-Man when he's not talking?
Oh God, Batman when he's smiling. Shit.
Go ahead.
I would say Batman smiling because you can actually see his expressions versus Spider-Man is just like, who's this weirdo in a spider costume?
Being a common criminal, I think. Being a common criminal, I think will be terrifying because it's like you got to make sure you're nowhere near where whoever the fuck is, especially in Gotham City. Like, just don't commit any crimes. Like, if you're a simple civilian, you're fucked because you're probably gonna get robbed or killed. And if you're just like a common criminal, like stealing, bread, then Batman's gonna come in and beat your ass and then say, "Now talk." It's like I can't win, so I would say common criminal. Thank you, Lightning. Kyle, where's Kyle at? Kyle has the next question. He has quite a few, so these are good questions. Kyle asks good questions. If you can meet, let me try to read this. If you could meet and have supper with anybody in pro wrestling history, who would you choose and why? If I can meet and have supper with anyone in wrestling history, I mean, I'd want to like have dinner with Cornette and just hear him talk about wrestling. Paul Heyman, that would be interesting. Who else? Maybe just like the old school guys, like like Heyman, Cornette. Trying to think of some more names. MVP, I think, would be interesting.
MVP would be cool.
MVP, Kevin Owens would be fun. Brock Lesnar, I think, would be a lot of fun to have dinner with. Yeah, those are my choices. What about you guys?
Whew. Man, a lot of old school guys. You know what? And this is gonna be out of left field. Captain Lou Albano. He'll be a crazy motherfucker probably to be sitting with. Captain Lou. That's my answer.
All right, RJ.
Wade Barrett would probably be one. I know that's probably interesting right now to left field, but I watched some of his content for the Between the Ropes, and Barrett's a good talker, man, and he knows how to hold a good conversation. So I think he would be one that I would love to talk to and shoot the shit with. I think he'd be pretty cool. I think Carmelo Hayes would be another one, just for me personally. Just to get to talk to a guy that's an African American who is on the up and up, and that's, he's getting better and better. And I think having a conversation with him and shooting the shit would be pretty cool too. So those would be two like off the top of my dome.
If I can add to MJF, so you could just like talk shit to me the entire time and me just like taking it, and Andre Giant. Just to see what the hell he's gonna be eating, and just him just slinging back like 20 beers. Like, that'll be something to see.
Kevin Nash would be fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah. I would love to have dinner with Kevin Nash. He called me a midget the entire time.
Gigi Dolan. Not because I want to talk to her. I just want to watch her. Anyways, that was creepy. Anyways, strike that from the record. Next one is in an alternate universe, the Montreal Screwjob Survivor Series 97 took place in San Antonio. Shawn Michaels was screwed by Bret Hart for the WWF Championship, and Shawn Michaels goes to WCW. Do you think both Bret Hart and the WWF would have been better off this way? I think if you're asking people who had to work around Shawn Michaels during that time, they probably would have said yes. But when you look at it, it's like things happen for a reason. The Attitude Era was barely kicking off, and, Shawn was a part of D-Generation X. So, it's one of those things of just like, maybe things are better the way they are, but, if Bret did stay in WWE or WWF, odds are, we'd still have Owen. Owen would still be alive. There'd be less headaches for, the office to deal with. It would be interesting, because can you imagine the main event of WrestleMania 14 would have been Austin versus Bret? Like a hot Austin, like already like on top, and Bret doing the honors for Austin. Like that would have been pretty fucking cool. And then in the years leading on, Bret doesn't get a concussion from Goldberg, and he's able to wrestle guys like Eddie Guerrero and Benoit and Kurt Angle, like and maybe, well, I don't know about Brock, but like just guys like those, like that would have been really fucking interesting. But what do you guys think?
I think that would they been better off? Personally, no. It's interesting to think about because Shawn, he went away for 4 years and he came back and he wrestled. Came back in 2002, and he left in 2000. So he wrestled another 8 years, right? I just think that Bret probably would have had another 10 years left because remember, Bret is older than Shawn, and I just would have thought he would maybe only had like 10 good years left before he retired. Could Shawn could have came back to WWF at that time? Probably so, because Triple H was still there. So I think he could have came back regardless. But who's to say? Who's to say? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, and with Sean, there was always something to do because, to your point, like he could have easily managed Triple H too. During his rise up, they could have been DX. With just him, just being in the sideline. So I mean, the possibilities are limitless in wrestling. People got to understand that there's always something for you to do, even if you don't want to be in the ring, so to speak. Or you don't necessarily feel like being there, but you could be an asset some way. Like, there's always something for you to do with wrestling. So, careers can be stretched as long as you need them to be stretched. That's why Sting's still going to today, because he found a way to bend TNA and WWE had him for limited dates and stuff like that when they had him, but that's why Sting's still going today, because he limited himself. He paced himself the right way to have, a lengthy career into his fucking mid-60s at this point. So you just got to play the game, play it smart. But yeah, I think if both of them would have played it smart, then they definitely could easily milk extra years.
All right. Which show do you miss more, the Don Tony and Kevin Castle show or Breakfast Soup? Just for nostalgia, I miss DTKC. That was a staple for podcasting. It's I just remember, every Monday after Raw, I would listen to DTKC like clockwork. So
same here.
Breakfast Soup, I think, was more of a Patreon show. So, if you had Patreon, you're able to listen to that. But DTKC. That's the if we're talking about four pillars of podcasting or wrestling podcast, DTKC
that's one of them.
Certainly belongs in there. Justin, how familiar are you with Don Tony and Kevin Castle?
I'll be honest, I'm not.
Right.
I'm not. Yeah, so I don't have a good answer to this question.
Right. Yeah. I guess just a little quick history lesson. So, like, Don Tony's been around since like the early 2000s, and this is when there wasn't podcasting. There was just radio, like call-in radio shows, and Kevin Castle joined him in, like, I think 2005, I believe. And they've been around. They were around for about 15 years, actually.
Okay.
And that spawned Wrestling Soup, which has been around since 2010. So the staple made in podcasting is Kevin Castle, Don Tony, Wrestling Soup, Jason Solomonster.
Okay. I know Solomonster. Yeah.
So DTKC, they've been around for a while. DT, as far as I know, is doing his own thing. Kevin Castle's doing his own thing. So Wrestling Soup is still going strong. So
Wrestling Soup,
motherfuckers. Your favorite kinds of cheese? Pepper jack, I guess.
Munster.
Oh, Munster's so good. Munster's so underrated.
Yeah, it is.
I like smoked provolone as well.
Provolone. Good mozzarella. No, that's my Italian coming out. The white cheeses for the most part.
All right. What's the worst superhero movie you've ever seen? Morbius, Fantastic Four, the reboot. The Punisher.
Electra.
Oh, that was bad.
That was bowl and shoe ugly bad. And I like the girl that played Abby, and I like Jennifer Garner just looks great, but yeah, that sucked. That sucked a cock like you wouldn't believe.
Punisher Warzone. That was bad.
Oh my god. Hey Drew, do your best Jigsaw impersonation again.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Brother, are you ready to cause some carnage out there? We need to take out Frank Castle. Talking like a 30s gangster. It's like, dude. Next question. Have you watched Stranger Things? I watched Stranger Things. I watched the newest season. I enjoyed it. What about you guys?
Yeah, off and on.
I haven't seen the full season. I'm not really much into TV shows anymore because I don't have that much time to watch. But what I've seen is it's okay,
Yeah, like I watched it on and off for years with friends and stuff like that. It's all right. Not something that I would been watching in. I wouldn't spend time watching that in my personal time.
Right. Next question. Your favorite things to buy at a convenience store? Mine are fountain soda, Slurpees, and bakery. I like going to QT because QT has better shit, in my opinion. I'll usually get like a raspberry tea in one of like the fountain drinks instead of soda. And as far as like, snacks, I'll get like the pre-made mini sandwiches or barbecue that they have there, which is really fucking good. And then a hot dog every now and then. But what about you guys?
For me, I would say from 7-Eleven, they have like the brownies with the walnuts. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Lord. You want to talk about fine delicacy. You haven't lived. Yeah, this is really good stuff. Other than that, I mean, just stuff that I would get like at a normal store as well. So I love my peanut butter M&Ms. Like that's like crack to me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I mean, I really don't have like much like other things. You know what? And I've stopped drinking soda for a while, for about a year, and I recently picked back up. I tried this Dr. Pepper, this cream soda Dr. Pepper. Oh, so good. So good. It's dangerous. And like I drink like anytime I see it, like I just gotta grab it. But yeah, those are my things.
Yeah, with me, I gotta get Mountain Dew Voltage in a Bane to kickstart my night.
Actually, right before we were recording, I stopped and got pizza, and we didn't have anything to drink, so I just went to the QT. I got a Mountain Dew Spark raspberry lemonade. Like that's my crack right there. Next question. Your favorite Raven feuds? Unfortunately, I wasn't really able to enjoy Raven's ECW stuff, so I'll probably have to bow out of this question. But what do you guys think? Yo, RJ. Why the fuck can I hear RJ? For some reason, I can't hear anybody. I don't know why. Shit. Fuck. Hold on. What the hell just happened? Why the hell can't I hear? No, I can't hear you guys. Like, literally, for some reason, I can't hear you guys at all. I have no idea why. What the fuck? Ah, shit. What the fuck just happened? And there's like a few more questions left. I have no idea why. Can you change sound settings? And there's like 28 questions left. This happened with Mish earlier. Hold on. But he had himself muted. I don't think it's that. I was hearing him as clear as day, and for some reason I can't hear him at all. And I didn't even like mute anything. Like, what the fuck? You gotta be kidding me right now. What the hell? Okay, Justin, RJ, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get out and then I'm gonna come back in, just to see if that works. So give me 1 second. Then I'm just gonna like add you guys back in. So 1 minute. I'm sorry, guys. 1 moment. Yo. Alright. Justin, RJ, get back in. Okay. Yo. RJ. Yellow.
Hey, yo.
Oh, finally I can fucking hear you. I don't know what the fuck happened. RJ.
Maybe muted, I don't know.
Hold on, let me see if he's muted. No, he's not muted.
Maybe on his end, I don't know.
RJ. RJ.
Maybe alive. I don't know if he's alive over there.
God damn it. God damn Discord.
Oh man, it's 2022 and technology is still fucking up somehow.
All right, let me get Mr. RJ back in.
All right.
RJ. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him. Is he in the chat? Did he say anything?
Well, no, I see him in the voice thing that we're on. So
yeah, I see that, but
hold on. Let me just give me 1 second.
Yeah, abducted.
Tony Khan got RJ. That's.
I got your guy. I got your guy.
I got your guy. You say bad things about me. About AW. How dare you?
Did you see his interview? I guess when CM Punk won the title, he was like, "This fucking guy."
How dare anyone say that I'm erratic and I sound like I'm on coke? I don't do coke. Can't afford coke. I don't want coke. It's like Jesus.
I like Coke. Cola.
Coca-Cola. RJ, can you hear me at all? Is there an RJ there?
Or to RJ.
Jesus
Now,
Christ.
well, shit. Okay.
I guess his internet's no bueno.
Prepping out.
Yeah, we got a few more questions to finish. Maybe it would suck if RJ can't finish these, but we'll just wait for RJ to come back.
Yeah, I'm not in a rush.
It was Kevin Castle's Revenge. All right, let's see if I can get him back in. Yo.
Hello.
All right, we got him. We got RJ back, people.
Damn it, we're back. Shit.
All right, take 2. Fucking Discord. All right, are we ready?
Tony, he can take Orange Cassidy's big bag of dildos and stick him straight up his ass. You ain't got me.
Hey Cassidy, I want you to take the one that's curved like a sword and just do what you need to do.
Run him ass.
All right.
Dynamite, that's real dynamite.
All right. Kyle has 2 more questions. Your favorite bloody matches? Probably Brett and Austin at Mania. Ending with Austin with the Crimson Mask. So, what about you guys?
Oh man, I mean, there's a lot for me. The 2 Mick Foley Royal Rumble matches, 99 and 2000, Rock and Triple H. I'm an old school guy, and I'm just gonna go old school for a second here. Pat Patterson, Sergeant Slaughter, Ali fight. That was a tremendous match at MSG. And an underrated one, Bret Hart versus British Bulldog. It was one of the In Your House matches from like 95. And like Bret got like busted open. It was a damn good match. Mick Foley, Edge versus Terry Funk and Tommy Dreamer. Love that match. One Night Stand 06. And my last one I can think of off the top of my head is Magnum TA and Tully Blanchard from Starrcade 86. Freaking Magnum TA had like a freaking wooden spike. Try to jam it into Tully Blanchard's eye. It was gruesome. Love it.
Well, Mick Foley, Cactus Jack versus Triple H 2000 Royal Rumble. Good shit. And also, I'm going the CZW route. The Nation Intoxication versus Ohio for Killers, baby. That old school shit, man. CZW. Not this pitter-patter shit they got going on nowadays, but yeah, that old school CZW stuff from years ago. Just great stuff.
All right. Last question from Kyle. Now that the WWE PG era is almost over, what was your favorite years in the PG era? For me, it was 2009 to 2011. I thought that was a good run. I'm going to go with Kyle on that one. The Summer of Punk happened in 2011. Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels back-to-back at Mania. The best PG era matches, if there was one. So, I'm going to go with Kyle on that one.
My favorite parts of the PG era was in, like, patches. It was never really years. Like,
True.
okay, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the Summer of Punk in 2011, but besides that, really didn't enjoy 2011 all that much. 2013, I love the stuff with Brian. That's just about it. 2016 was a pretty good year for WWE. They did the draft and all this other stuff. You guys is getting shining opportunity. I love the beginning of 2017. AJ and Cena was having that feud, and then Bray Wyatt finally won the big one. So it's always been in patches for me.
Yeah, like what do you define as the PG era? Like I know some people are like defining from like 2008 to 2013. It just seems like we know like the Ruthless Aggression era was like 2002 to 2008. For me, I'm with you. I enjoy patches. Like the summer of 2009, I thought that was pretty good, right? I would say like the first few months of 2010, Summer of Punk. And after that, it's like I didn't really much enjoy it that much. But if I'm looking at the PG era, I'm thinking it's more like 2008 to 2013 because I know everyone defines eras differently.
All right. Thank you, Kyle, for your questions. We have 2 more. Let's try to skim through these real quick. Well, not skim, but let's try to be as fast as we can. X_X has a few questions. Should Paul Heyman get more hell for not paying his guys? Yeah. I mean, he still does. I mean, there's a lot of guys that will remember the penny like down to the penny, about how much he owes them. So, yeah, definitely. We love Paul Heyman. He's a great creative mind, good promo, but it's like, yeah, the dude has more than likely forgot to pay a lot of people, so he should pay up eventually.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree.
Yeah, definitely.
Who would be in charge of WCW if it were still open today and continued business after the AOL merger? Jeremy Borash, Disco Inferno, Jeff Jarrett, Dustin Rhodes, or Flair? Definitely not Flair, not Rhodes. I would say maybe Jarrett. If I would say, like, okay, I think TNA was Jarrett's answer of saying, let's try to recreate WCW a little bit. Mm-hmm. So I think as much shit as people give Jarrett, and deservingly so, he at least ran TNA a lot better than Tony Khan runs AEW. Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
The only difference is Tony Khan didn't book himself to win the world title over and over again in stupid matches that had too much going on, to the point where Tony Khan would be kicking out of 6 people's finishers, a chair shot to the head, a glass jar to the head, low blows. Jeff Jarrett, he made a lot of mistakes in TNA. He definitely did. So it probably is even to me, as far as that's concerned.
I mean, at least there was a time. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna answer the question real quick. I would just say, like, yeah, maybe Jarrett, but Bischoff, he still had a chance to run WCW after it closed out. I mean, I don't agree with it, but he was the reason why they became who they became in the first place. But anyway, that would have been my answer.
And last question from XX. Should mainstream wrestling experiment with a magician wrestler again in today's climate?
Yeah. I mean, and you can have a gimmick for anything as long as it makes sense. It can't be like a freaking like top hat magician from like the 1880s or whatever. But
somebody with
a Chris Angel, something like that. You know what I mean? But if it makes sense, and if it gets over, sure, why not? You have freaking Orange Cassidy over. Why not magician?
I think you could definitely do it with layers. And if you have, like, all right, let's just use this guy for example. If WWE was to bring back Aleister Black and gave him like a Chris Angel type gimmick, where he's this illusionist guy, but at the same time he's still this evil cult guy, right? Like, he can make it work if it has layers and stuff like that. So if the whole I'm a magician, I'm an illusionist type gimmick wears off, then he has something else to lay back on too. So, I mean, if you do it the smart way, you can pull it off.
Right, and also, there's always room for more intriguing characters, if done right. So, I'm fine with a magician wrestling. Thank you, XX. Last question goes to Eddie. This should be simple. F, marry, kill. Bailey, Gigi Dolan, or Nikita Lyons.
You said this was simple. This ain't fucking simple. What the hell?
F, marry, kill. Okay, I will, and this hurts me to say, I will F Nikita. I will marry Bailey, and unfortunately kill Gigi. I'll kill myself. How about that?
So much. I had to throw away so much cake. It was disgusting.
Yeah, exactly.
You can get Gigi to kill you. Hey, she can smother you to death.
She can sell my face.
Exactly. There you go. You know what?
Go ahead.
I think I can do this. I married Bailey because Bailey just seems like that type of chick. You know what I'm saying? I fuck Gigi, and Nikita Lyons has to, be the downfall here, the down girl.
And now I know it hurts.
I know, right? Jesus Christ, it hurts.
I'm kind of with you because, like, I love Bailey, so I'm gonna marry her. I love fucking Gigi. I'm gonna tap that. I'm gonna have
to be out of the room right about now, huh?
And as much as I love Nikita and all that fucking deliciousness, I can't handle all that. There's no way I'm gonna be able to handle all that. It'd be like a rabbit trying to fuck an elephant. It's like, you want me to put this and that? Like, no, I can't do that. Like, I wouldn't be able to handle that at all. Like, no.
His knees, his back can't handle it. Can't take it.
Can't take it. And she would just, she would have her she would swallow me with her asshole.
Jesus Christ.
God!
Jesus, man.
Damn.
And on that note, thank you for the questions, guys. Sorry about that little audio delay, but we got it fixed. But shout out to everybody who's listening to the show, who turned in questions. Thank you for RJ for showing up. I know you said you weren't feeling all that well, but thank you for sticking by, being a trooper.
Yeah.
And thank you for Justin, first timer. Thank you for showing up to the show. It was a lot of fun,
It was fun. Yeah, definitely.
It definitely was, man.
But Justin, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Spinebuster Tees. Follow me there. I sell wrestling t-shirts, all for below the cost of $19.98. So I have a lot of great designs on there. If you're in the Texas area, San Antonio area, I am gonna open a store soon. By the end of this year, early next year, where not going to sell only wrestling t-shirts, but pop figures. I'm really gonna go heavy on wrestling posters, like pay-per-view posters, right? So it's gonna be a really cool thing I'm gonna be having going on. So you can follow me and follow my story on Instagram at Spinebuster Tees.
All right, and RJ, where can they find you?
You can follow me on Twitter at LilRJ Unlimited, where anything and everything I say has no limits.
Exactly. And also me, you know where to find me. Twitter, Instagram. I have a Facebook page, Drew Yari Show. Podcast is easy to find. I'm pretty much everywhere. You can listen on YouTube. You can listen on Apple, Spotify, Google Play. Or, it's not Google Play anymore. It's Google Podcasts. Spreaker is the home base. Yeah, that's about it. And also Patreon. We have a Patreon. RJ's a part of it, as well as Jeff Lippman. And also Ruben. We've also changed the name of our show. It's going to be called... It used to be called Worst of the Worst, where the whole point of it was reviewing bad movies. And then the whole point of it was... It's just like, well, we need to at least watch good movies, because we can't always watch bad movies. So we kind of modified the whole basis of the show. Not too much, but it's going to be called Culture Attack. So we're going to be doing one pretty soon, so look for that to happen. But yeah, the Patreon, just $5. Sign up for the low price of $5, and you won't be disappointed in what you get in return. But anyways, this show is every Wednesday live on here, on the Wrestling Soup channel, and on Spreaker at 8 p.m. Central Time. Not on the dot, though, but we usually start a little later. But yeah, 8 p.m. Central Time. So catch us every Wednesday. And also, yeah, next weekend is SummerSlam. So expect a SummerSlam prediction show next week, and then the week after, SummerSlam review show. But anyways, guys, thank you all for showing up. Thank you all for sticking by. And what else can I say but peace.
Peace.
Is that out?